give me.
Welcome back to another episode of the We Love Gaming Podcast, episode 47. And today is a good day. It has been a good week. A lot of things to talk about. But before we get into any of that, what have you guys been playing this week?
Where you at, Mark?
So for me, I started the week off with some maquette because you recommended it last week.
Okay. What'd you think?
So graphically, the game looks very nice.
Uh-huh.
The music's cool, but the story was kind of cheesy. I don't know if you got into it. It's like the little couple love story. I really didn't like it personally.
Okay. Yeah, it was it was just like a little whatever.
What didn't you
love
like?
story.
The way they told it, the actual telling of the story, or what did you like?
Do you remember What Remains of Edith Finch, where like there's like writing that appears, and it's kind of like the environment and everything is kind of giving you a lot about the story.
Yes.
Well, this game is there's certain area the scenario, the environment isn't as awesome as What Remains of Edith Finch. It has similar conventions, but the environment sucks comparatively.
Okay.
And the story is just trash. Like you're not What Remains of Edith Finch, you're like, like it's kind of like a mystery. This is like, okay, it's a guy and a girl that like each other, and I'm like going through like their first date, and I'm going through their first fight.
Very mundane stuff. Huh?
I could give two craps about this.
You're just going through the term of their relationship,
Yes.
you
So
know,
it's very
from
mundane.
beginning to like finish.
But
I
it
see.
doesn't tell you anything special about the relationship, so I could care less. It's just I'm not into that kind of
It's just
stuff.
kind of just going on.
Nothing interesting happens.
But I also think that the world is kind of blah because
Absolutely.
it's a puzzle. I don't know. I never played Edith Finch, so
Edith Finch is you go through an amazing
puzzle,
house, and it's a puzzles to get from A to B, and you
Okay.
have to figure out clues and things.
A little bit like Gone Home.
Yeah, like Gone Home.
Yeah, I played
better.
Gone Home. There's a little bit of puzzle action to that too. Very light, but it's puzzly.
Very light.
But it's more about discovering the story, and it's a mystery.
So
You
it's
don't know
more
what's going
about
on.
a story
Mm-hmm.
and then adding a
Yeah.
puzzle. Where Maquette, it seems like it's more about the puzzle.
But even Maquette,
yes.
adding a little bit.
but
of a
even
story.
Maquette, the puzzles are so basic. Like I would
I was
say
going
It
to
starts
ask you,
off-
how was the puzzles?
It starts off, but you're telling me that you weren't mind boggled
So
at
I
any
played
point in
it
time?
for 2 or 3 hours, and it's like literally the most basic things. Like once you figure out the rhythm of, there's a couple techniques that you can do in the game, like manipulating the little world and the big world and going back and forth.
So are you saying that they stick to a few basic mechanics, and if you remember to attempt all those options, you will solve it?
More or less, yeah. I'm only like 2 or 3 hours in, so I checked how many chapters of the game. I beat chapter 4. There's 7 chapters because
What's
like
the name of it? Is it the
I think I just
Wedge?
beat the Gateway.
Okay, all right. I made it to the Wedge. That's where I
Okay.
stopped at.
So I looked
It's
up how
right past the
many.
Gateway.
I looked up how many chapters because I was like, man, I'm not really feeling this game. So
But you wanted to try to beat it anyways?
I was like,
you just started
how much longer is
You
this?
committed,
It
so you
seemed
already
like it
wanna
would
start
be a straightforward platinum, I believe.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't look at all the trophies and stuff, but it seemed like
Yeah.
if you could finish it from beginning to end, like what
There's
kind
a
of
couple
special
side
shit can you
things.
really do in the game? You
There's
know
a
what I
couple
mean?
side things you got to do. I looked it up. Like
Okay.
during the chapters, there's a couple things you have to do that chapter, or you have to replay it.
Oh, okay.
And then to platinum it, you have to beat each level within like 3 or 4 minutes.
oh, speeding. Yeah.
So you just go straight through. Now, I mean,
But once
the
you already
thing,
know it, then,
it's
you
easy.
could just
Yeah.
dip through
But
it.
each level should take about like 4 to 5 minutes, and there's like 7 levels. So technically, you could beat the game in like 30 minutes if you know what you're doing, or less.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think the Wedge is like 5. Like
okay.
like round 5 or whatever, or stage 5. So
Got you.
So you got
Yeah.
a little further than him then?
I literally just got like the next
The
one
next level.
further, yeah.
Yeah.
But it does seem like if you can remember everything that like the whole mechanics of how the
Then
game
you'll be
works,
okay,
then
yeah.
you would be okay. But
That's a
it's
little
just
lazy.
like
That's a little
I
bit
didn't.
lazy.
There was some things where like I kept trying stuff, and I'm like, how the hell am I supposed to?
So was
like,
there a
it's
part
like,
that you
oh.
said you looked up?
Yeah.
Which part was it?
The key. When I was trying to
Oh,
figure out how
when
to
you
get
dro-
the key into the
when you-
sandbox, like I didn't know that you
can
could
drop it
you could,
back in?
Yeah, you could. No, I knew you could re-drop it and make it smaller,
Uh-huh.
and then pull it out and make it bigger. But I didn't.
Oh, you're talking
know
about the ticket in? You're talking about the ticket in the box or the key?
ticket. The ticket confused me too.
Yeah.
But I knew that you could reduce its size. But the key, I didn't know that you could just go to the small sandbox and put the key in. But you could also apparently
go to the
if you did it small enough, you could actually still go into the big one and do it. But apparently you could use them in either way. Like you could access something from the small world or access it from your big world.
You didn't know you could do that.
Yeah,
so, that's
so
mechanic
I was
you didn't
just
realize.
kind of like, I was just like, damn, how I'm supposed to, get access to this? The key looks big enough, the hole looks, that size or whatever, but you can access it from a different way and some things like that and whatnot. So, I mean, I guess because I wasn't remembering everything and then just trying a bunch of shit, you know what I mean? I was kind of like stuck, and I was more so of like, I want to finish it so that I could, say that I finished it and see the end,
Right.
but
yeah. But this the story's so bad. Like I have no desire to even like care.
No
what
attachment.
I hated was that you couldn't really skip it. You couldn't
No,
skip
you couldn't
anything.
skip it. There, yeah,
you
you're
are
right.
scene locked. Like as soon as it goes, you gotta watch it. It
So-
doesn't matter if you watched it already and then something happened and you restarted the puzzle again. Like you gotta watch
that's
this
really
shit
bad.
all over again.
That's really bad.
The music was kind of cool. I mean, I'm not saying I like the genre of the music, but it was cool. There's nice music that plays.
So they spent some money on good
it
artists.
feels
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
It's just not
Solid 7, 6.5, 6,
probably solid 5. Yeah.
5.
I would give it a 5.
I'll give it a
Whoa.
That's funny. You
It
said it
scored
at the
higher
same
than
time
that on
I put
Metacritic.
mine out.
Really?
Yeah, you guys rated it lower than Metacritic did.
What did they rate it at?
It was like 68, like close to 7. It's close to
Not-
7 if I remember
I'm not
right.
seeing it, man.
Yeah.
And that
Definitely
might
not
be
seeing
because like I'm not a
I
puzzle
think they're
guy
probably
like
giving
that.
them some bonus points for imagination. I don't think a puzzle's really been used like that, where you drop it into lower and lower and lower realms, and you manipulate it and it changes. I don't think a puzzle's really been. There's been a puzzle game that kind of does that. It's kind of like an original idea.
I'll give it
So
that.
I think
it's
they
definitely
gave it-
original
I think-
ideas.
Originality.
What I'm saying is, I think that the game raiders might have given it some additional points because of its originality.
Okay, yeah, I guess if you factor that type of
Yeah,
thing
if you're
in,
thinking like
you
this
get
is
it more.
unique, this is original, good job, that's worth some additional points.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
still give it a 5 because I mean, there's some puzzle games that I would gladly. What Remains of Edith Finch, I would go play that. If you can classify it as a puzzle game, I'll go
But
play
isn't
that.
that like a 9-10 though? A lot of
Yeah.
people rated that. That's really high.
That's
rated.
a really good game.
Like so is Gone Home. Like those are really high games. Like you're comparing it like to the best.
I'm comparing it to things that are similar styles. You know what I'm saying?
of what you've played,
Of what I played.
right? But there's a lot of puzzle games out there that are a lot worse than Remains of Edith Finch and stuff.
Yeah.
Would you rather play Professor Layton?
Oh yeah, all day.
We know the
All
answer
day,
to that. We know the answer
All
to that.
day.
Anyways, what else did you play, man?
All
Is
right.
that it?
Then I bought Amazon had a sale on all their Amazon warehouse. Everything was 20% off extra. So I got a like new copy of Cyberpunk for $17.
Oh,
which was
So
like
you got it.
Yeah,
Nice.
I got it.
You got a
17
better deal than me.
bucks.
I spent like $30-something.
and it came
Yeah.
like in brand new condition. It had the sleeve with the
yeah,
postcards.
mine
the
did too.
map,
Mine had everything in it
stickers.
too. Yeah.
It had a free month of HBO Max, which did not work. The code was expired already. Thanks,
It
guys.
did
Damn.
not work.
And I fired it up. I just maybe played it for an hour, but so far, dude,
You were hooked already.
I'm
huh?
impressed.
I
It's
know.
good.
That's why
It's good,
dude,
right?
that's why I haven't even put it in my
I
system.
feel
Because
bad.
I'm
I
gonna
know,
play
I
it.
know the moment I put it in, I'm gonna be stuck on it for hours on end. It's gonna be
Yeah.
like my summertime game. I already know that.
Yeah, I told you I had loaded
Yeah.
that shit into my PS5, and then I just wanted to like see what kind of improvements it was doing. But I was like playing the bitch. I was like, damn, I gotta stop this, because if I do it, I'm gonna keep going,
I'm gonna
and I
finish
got
this
other
thing.
things I'm trying to
I
play
know,
right
yeah,
now. So
exactly.
I'm trying to hold
That's
out.
why
and wait,
I
man.
haven't even slipped it into my system, man.
Dude, man, I feel bad for talking bad about it because it's actually pretty good.
Well, I know. I think that's what we were saying.
the hour that
though.
I played
I was
it-
telling you guys that it's
No, we
a
were saying.
fantastic
I think
game.
we were
if
saying
you
that.
just get rid of
I
those
think we were
issues.
saying that. We weren't like saying it wasn't a bad
No, no,
game.
no.
We were just saying that these bugs are my biggest beef was not the PS5. My biggest beef was with the PS4 and Xbox One.
Right.
OG systems. So running
Right.
at 17 frames per second. I think if you experienced that, you would have been coming in here
Probably.
and dogging the living
Probably.
daylights.
Oh,
out
yeah.
of it,
'Cause
right?
I played
you
on the
You put it on the
Pro.
PS5.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
Yeah, so you had 60 FPS.
It-
So
it
you're
felt
gonna it's
good,
gonna
dude.
look good on
It
the
felt
PS5 at 60 FPS.
Did it?
Yes, it's not 4K ray traced, upgraded, and all that, but they did allow the
It to be
PS5 to
60.
muscle it up to 60 FPS.
Okay.
But you have to turn the PS5's internal system performance mode on
Okay.
for it to muscle up, because there's no option inside
the
Cyberpunk
game, right?
to let you do that,
adjust
yeah.
They'll probably
Yeah.
give that option once they give the.
When
upgrade,
I
but-
did start it, it did ask me what mode, and I did put it on performance.
Okay.
So maybe it was on last bug or
okay.
patch or something.
Before you had to
Right,
actually, because I was,
yeah.
because that's what they said. If you wanted to play and in 60 FPS, you need to go into the external.
Well, that would probably look real good, real.
It played buttery smooth. I mean, I only played it for an hour, so it's only an hour. But I didn't have one glitch.
Well, and they've had
one
like
hiccup.
a couple of major patches since we've last talked about it. That have, from what I understand, we talked about the last one, where people weren't disappearing anymore. The car driving was majorly improved. So that patch was like a major success.
Yeah.
But
So-
also, I think they reduced like the intensity of the police.
Oh, they did.
Because I saw
Yes,
a video
they
where
did.
like dude was just like out there murking people.
they did.
And there was no
They
cops
toned-
coming.
They toned down. Yeah.
Yeah, so
But because I think before, like, it was like really annoying. The police
dude,
were
they would
actually really
literally
annoying.
spawn
Yeah.
like 10 paces in front of
Yes,
you
they
and
would just
start
appear.
blasting. It's like, damn.
Yeah, that doesn't make
Like,
sense.
yeah, you just came in. I'm in a dungeon, bro. Like I'm like 4 feet down. I'm 4 floors
In a
down,
dungeon,
and you
bro.
just popped up out this bitch. Like, come on, man. I need
so
time.
funny,
Like, let me
dude.
get out.
That's so funny, man.
It was
You
intense,
just
dude.
popped up.
Damn.
I know. I remember.
That's so funny.
I was in this one area. Side note, now let's get back to it. I was in this one area, and I had to visit like a club or something like that. So I ended up Xing somebody out, but I got caught on the way out. So I had to shoot. I had to shoot my way out. So I get to the very front, and there's a person there. The person that's at the front register that brought me in, and I had the option to like, you know, kill her or keep moving, and I decided to kill her. You know what I mean, and see what she had or whatever. And so the moment I killed her, I killed everybody else in the club that I could kill. No cops, nothing. The moment I killed the chick at the front register, cops. They're
Materializes.
right outside the hallway. That like it's a long hallway that I have to go from the front desk
just
to the
materialize
outdoor.
out there, huh?
They are in the hallway
That's
and
so
shooting at me
funny,
immediately.
man.
I was like,
That's
damn.
so funny.
And then they were popping up inside the club behind me.
That's
Like you didn't.
hilarious.
Where's the back door? Because I would have found that bitch and got out. Like where's the back door,
That's
man?
hilarious,
So,
man.
yeah. So those cops were like
Teleporting.
intense, bro.
Yeah.
They were on your head.
Yeah, that's what I was hearing.
What like class? Not class, but what background did you pick? Or
I went corpo.
Corpo.
The same one he said he was gonna do when we had our
That's
little.
right.
we had our
I
little
can
debate.
remember.
Where'd you go?
I
You
picked
wanted to
the-
go Nomad.
I wanted Nomad, but I was like, you know what? I want to experience the city sooner, so I picked the street.
That's
street
what I
kid?
said, man.
Street
That's
kid.
what I said.
Changed my mind.
So I wanted to experience the city sooner.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was like-
that's cool.
Is that what you did? You went street also?
I haven't even put the game in my console.
Oh,
yet.
you have not even played
But
it.
when we talked about when
Yeah.
they revealed the backgrounds,
you wanted
I
to
said I
street.
wanted to do street.
Man,
street
now
kid
you
or
gotta go
whatever.
nomad. dude.
'Cause,
You
Now I
gotta
might
go
have to go nomad. Yeah, you're forced me, man.
Hey
You
man,
took
what
my
are you waiting
path,
for,
bro.
man? What are you waiting
took
for? You
my
got the game,
path.
put it in.
Y'all know what we're waiting for, man.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, I was pleasantly surprised with the game, dude. It runs like butter. No, I only played it for an hour, but no glitches. Nobody's junk hanging out of their pants that I can see. And it's a pretty dope game. Like every little NPC is pretty cool. I try to talk to everybody, you know, get their little reaction. Try to search.
Good. Feels real.
Feels real good. Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels real nice. Because I'll just leave it at that.
Nice. Yeah, I know. I'm looking forward to playing it too.
Yeah. So happy got that game. And
Trust me, I sit there on my couch to play a game, and it stares at me all the time. I
It's
can't believe I
right
haven't
there,
put
it's like
that
your
in
selection.
yet, man. That game was on my shelf. I haven't even put that in yet.
You haven't even loaded it?
I haven't even loaded it onto my system yet.
Man, you at least should do that. That way,
Nah,
when
because
you're ready
the,
for that
the
itch,
darn
just take
the
gigabyte
space.
the
Dude,
gigabyte
it's gonna-
space, man,
takes up a
is-
lot.
you ain't got an external hard drive now?
No, I still
Load
haven't
that
got
puppy
one.
on there?
I still haven't got an external hard drive yet.
Okay.
Although now that they made that change, I might consider it. But yeah, man.
But yeah, that's pretty much me for this game. For this week, I was playing a little EverQuest too. I had the itch, so I started dabbling in that. But
Oh yeah, I
That's
saw you went live
hilarious,
on
bro.
Twitch with EverQuest. Did you
Yeah.
get any viewers on that one?
yeah, I picked it like 5.
Okay, nice.
Cool.
But anyways, that's pretty much it. What about you guys?
What did you do?
Dude, just more Outriders, man. I'm hooked.
Yeah?
You know, I'm totally hooked.
You got like you're all legendaried out or what?
No.
Are
I
you
did
allowed
hit
to
the
have
max
every
level.
piece as legendary gear?
Yeah, you're allowed to have every piece legendary.
But they don't got nothing exotic, right? Or ancient or whatever.
Not that I've seen. Although I heard they were gonna make an update that lets you get like a little bit better tier legendary.
Okay, that would be cool if
They
they
haven't
did.
released
That'd
that,
be
but they have they're in talks of doing something like that, which would be dope.
Yeah.
But it's really hard to get legendary gear in this game. Like,
Mm.
it's pretty darn hard. Like, the end game in Outriders is called Expeditions, And what you do is you click on this table and you pick an expedition. It's kind of like a dungeon. And you enter it. And then it starts and it's timed. So you have to beat it in a certain amount of time. That is such a buzzkill for me, dude. Like, it's such a major buzzkill. I would have so much more enjoyment if I can just, like, meticulously go through it, you know, taking my time.
Even if it was onslaughts of enemies.
Yeah, it's not fun feeling like I have to, like, come on, rush. And, dude, I was rushing as fast as I could, and I still barely missed the highest reward for the level I was doing it on.
Okay.
And there's another major, really dumb, stupid problem that you have to watch every cutscene, and the timer's running.
Dang. That's
How
dirty.
dumb is that?
That's dirty.
And it's like what you were saying, you can't skip it.
That's some
can't.
bull.
In Expeditions, you can't skip it.
That's bull, dude.
But in like the normal game, like
You
if
can
I'm
skip some of
transitioning from like a zone to a zone, there's a cutscene, I can skip it. But for some reason in Expeditions, you can't.
Yeah, for some reason.
Isn't that the dumbest
Hey, man,
moronic problem?
They're trying to give you a little break here.
Dude,
they're trying to give you a rest period.
At least pause the timer then. How stupid.
That sucks,
It's like the dumbest, like they have like some of the weirdest, dumbest little things in this game.
Yeah.
Like that you wouldn't understand. You can't understand how this even happened. Like I might walk up to like a gate and it says press X to open, and my dude he like walks and he just starts walking and he just keeps walking. It's like, come on, dude, and then like he'll glitch away from the gate. It's like, dude, I can't. You're telling me that I have to click on this gate to move forward, but like your game is at this point is glitched. Like, usually a glitch would be like some obscure area the developers, when they were playtesting, didn't discover. This is like literally on the path I have to go, and this isn't fixed.
Yeah.
Or like, I'll go get like, they have wanted posters. You know, they have wanted posters. I'll go grab a wanted poster, and then I'll click to follow this game, and the icon won't appear. And so like, I'll be like in a map, and when you open the map, it doesn't show where you specifically are standing. It shows what zone in the map you're in, but not where you specifically are standing. And so it's really hard to get like a frame of reference. What? I don't know exactly where. So the map is divided into sections. Yeah. Right? And you could fast travel to each section.
Right.
But when you're inside the section, it just says you're in that section. It doesn't tell you exactly where.
Right. It still gives you that same all over.
You don't know if you're in the north, south, east, or west portion of that section of the map. And you're kind of like, okay, that looks like there's like a fork over there. So I'll look around. Is that the fork? Oh, I think that's the fork that the map is showing. So it's like super hard to like get your bearings. Navigate. And sometimes the darn quest will bug. And the little icon will not appear on my mini map to follow. And I'll be like, dude, where the F am I supposed to go?
Now, are you able to hit your stick in so that you can get that little line, that tracer line?
No.
That'll give you a pathway?
No, it's like glitched.
Damn.
And so I have to just pick a zone. So I just pick one of the 3 different directions I can run in. And all of a sudden enemies spawn. It says clear the path. I go, okay, so maybe this is the right path. So I kill all the enemies. I move forward and I break the barrier. Because you know how they have you break a barrier to move on to the next spot?
Yeah.
And then the icon appears and then I can now... It's like it needed that to recalibrate itself to now give me my icon to follow. And it's like, dang, it was in the complete opposite direction. So I just wasted my time killing this group of guys I had to clear. And I had to go back now to the other direction. So the weirdest little tiny, weirdest bugs, like the weirdest little things. Yeah. And then they have like the dopest things. Like their abilities are so stinking fun. Like the game changes so much when you get legendary loot because... When you dismantle the legendary gear, you get the mods that are on the gear permanently. So you can put them on any gun.
Well, I mean, you have the
even
mods,
a blue.
You have the mods that you get permanently also for the other stuff. Like the purples and the blues. Like
every time you dismantle a weapon, you get the mods that are on it.
Right.
Unless you already have it.
Right.
But what's dope is when you dismantle a legendary piece of gear, you get a tier 3 mod. So only the legendaries have tier 3s.
Okay.
So blue
you
gear,
way better mod.
It's like a whole nother realm better. Like you have blue mods, which are the tier 1 mods.
Right.
Purples, which are the tier 2 mods, and legendaries, which are the tier 3 mods. And let me give you an idea like the difference between how powerful these things are. Like you'll go from like shooting an enemy will like cause a tiny explosion. That's like a tier 1. Tier 2 would be like killing an enemy explodes them for like a large amount. Tier 3 would be like, just get a crit and we'll explode for a large amount. So you don't have to even kill anything.
Okay.
Just shooting the dang thing
Just
and you're
damage.
exploding it for like a huge quantity of damage. Like, so basically what happened was I discovered a farm because I needed the darn titanium.
Okay.
Because you need titanium
To upgrade
to
your
level up your
legendaries and
gear.
stuff, yeah.
So as you level up in world tier, they allow you to put higher leveled gear on.
Gotcha.
But your previous gear stays where it's at. But if you want to carry your gear into that new world tier, you can actually spend this resource called titanium to upgrade it to a new level. Titanium's like a bear to get. It's like really tough to get. So I was doing some research on YouTube. Is there like a titanium farm? And so I did find one, and it's like a beast hunt. And you go to this area, and there's 2 beasts to hunt in it, which is cool. Most of them are just 1. This one has 2.
Okay.
And when I was watching these guys, you just go in here, take out this guy with your gun, take out this guy, and then just die. And they're like killing these things in just like a matter of moments, dude. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm only, world tier 5 right now. This should be no problem, right? I go in there, man, and I'm fighting for my life. Then I got all these creatures coming on me, dropping my things. I'm just trying to survive. And like after like a good few minutes of battling for my life, I finally kill these guys. I'm like, dang, this
was not as easy as
not
they
an efficient farm for me.
Is it supposed to be done at like World Tier 1 or something?
No. So here's the thing that I discovered. So I was like racking my brain. I was like, I don't know how to get any stronger, man. I've maxed my gear out. I got good mods, I think. I got the best I can have, and this is impossible. So I started looking over the legendaries that I did have, because I got a few along the way. There's a few quests.
Yeah.
And one of them had a pretty dope one on there. It was called Minefield, the Ultimate Minefield. So tier 2 is the minefield, and then tier 3 is the ultimate minefield. Okay. And it's basically what I was telling you. On the tier 2, if you kill the enemy, they explode. Well, that don't help me on bosses, because I ain't killing this boss anytime soon. Right? Like, yeah, this is good for you killing trash, but this ain't helping you kill bosses. Mm-hmm. The tier 3, just on crits, you explode. And this mod was sick. Like, when I got a crit, a minefield plumed. Like 4 or 5 bombs fly out of his head. Yeah. And everything dies. Okay. Because it's just, and every time I'm critting, there's like a 3-second internal cooldown. But bosses have a lot of health. So every 3 seconds, I'm spitting out mines. Damn. And it's like mayhem.
You start chalking them down.
Dude, and the moment I slapped that on my weapon is the moment the game became easy. Like the very moment. And then like a legendary actually dropped for me, and it was a piece of gear, like actually dropped. It wasn't like a reward. Right. Nice. First time ever one physically dropped in the world. Okay. And it had a really dope mod for my turret, which increased it like doubled, probably like 60-70% damage increase, that one mod. Nice. So, and once you dismantle it, I can throw it on my purples. So I dismantled it and I threw it on my purple piece of gear.
Nice.
And so now it was for your turret and you took it and put it for yourself?
Yeah, the piece of gear had a mod on it that boosted my turret by 60% basically in damage. Yeah. And so I dismantled that piece of legendary gear. I didn't put the legendary gear on. I dismantled it. And now I permanently have that mod in my collection. So when I go to mod my gear, I can put it on any piece of gear I want.
As many times as you want?
No, not as many times as you want. Right. Once you have it on, that's all you can have it on. But if I ever replace that piece of gear, ideally, what you want is like a good set of like legendary gear that has a built-in tier 3 on it, and then you replace its tier 2 with another tier 3. So you're rocking 2 tier 3s on each piece of gear. That's when it gets absurd, ridiculous. Okay. Right? Yeah. And that's basically like, so what I basically did was I got that minefield and I slapped that shit on every gun I have. Okay. So every gun's minefielding. And like all of a sudden the game just got like enormously easier. And then like I got the ice gun. There's 2 ice guns. I got one of them. Okay. And basically what that one does, it's tier 3 mod. It's a legendary. It's tier 3 mod. Whenever you get a crit, you freeze everyone in a 4-foot radius, 4-meter radius. Nice. So it's like a plume of freezing on crits. And that's a 1-second cooldown. Oh, okay. So it's like pretty much every shot.
Yeah, they're getting frozen.
It's permanent.
Nice.
And so, like, the one that you and I were rocking, your tier 1 freeze, is 8-second cooldown. If you look at it, it says 8 seconds. Okay. So every 8 seconds, your bullet will freeze.
Oh, that's why it's not so constantly for you to freeze again. I thought it had something to do with like I thought it was like a cooldown of
or like
some
it's
sort,
like just a percent chance,
or like the like enemy is like immune to it or something. Yeah,
I was thinking a percent chance, like that's why it's not every bullet. It's like a 10% chance. So it's taking a few shots and then now he's frozen. And I'm just trying to hope it procs.
Right.
But no, literally it's a permanent freeze every 8 seconds. The tier 2 they have it, so it's like they with like every mod they have like a tier 2 and a tier 3 version of it. So like the tier 2 version of the freeze mod I found as well, and that's every 4 seconds, so it gets twice as good.
Oh, okay.
So you're freezing much more frequently.
1 second.
And then
OP.
1 second, and not just that, it's at a radius. So everyone even around that dude is getting frozen too.
Damn. That's
So the
OP.
tier 3 is on like a whole nother level.
It's wicked.
Yeah, and so I found a pretty dope. So I'm using that frozen rifle, and then I put the minefield on it. So that legendary has 2 tier 3.
So you freeze
items on
shit,
it.
and then you drop mines
Yes.
everywhere, and that it explode
Just
on their
mayhem,
face.
dude. Just mayhem.
And I'm sure the ice gives like invulnerability and some other stuff, so it's adding like extra.
The
damage
ice
on
adds
top of
weakness,
it.
yeah, and vulnerability. So all my damage is going up through the roof.
Nice.
And like basically like when I put that on, I'm just moving through the tiers now.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like tier 9. I mean world tier 9 like
Oh,
and I
nice.
haven't had to
the
like
top is 10, right?
15.
15.
15 is the top. But what's crazy is like I haven't like hit a block now. So what I was going to say was basically once you're like really strong in your current tier, then when you move on to the new tier, as long as you upgrade your gear, you're going to stay that way. Like it's not like cuz you get the same amount stronger as everything else does. So
Does more titanium drop as you start going up into the higher rounds?
Yes.
Okay.
So I was doing that farm
Yeah.
that I was fighting for my life.
Right,
But when I put that thing on there, the reason why I put that on there because I was watching someone on YouTube and they were using bone shrapnel tier 3.
Okay.
And you probably know bone shrapnel. They explode when you kill them.
Right.
But the bone shrapnel tier 3 is they just explode on crit hits. So it's like the same thing.
Okay.
But it's immediate. So it's slightly better than minefield because the minefield, the bombs sprout and then plop. Where in bone shrapnel, it's just boom.
Instant.
It's just boom, boom, boom. Right? So it's slightly better, but I don't have that yet. So I have the next best thing. But it doesn't matter. Just that alone has changed the game
your
for
whole
me.
world.
And now it's just like every time I level a tier, I just go to the vendor and I boost my gear one more.
Yeah.
And I go back into the world and I don't have a problem fighting everything. It's
Okay.
pretty dope, man. It's a lot of fun. But it's a stupid stinking grind to get legendaries, man. Like I don't know how I feel about that. And I definitely don't like timers on expeditions. So
But you should be able to run through those a lot quicker with your stuff, though.
dude, I told you I was moving. I was hauling ass, man. And I still couldn't finish the darn thing in time.
Man.
And I was fast, dude. Like I couldn't have been that much faster. Like, because I was almost, killing
One-shotting
things really
stuff?
fast. Yeah, like I couldn't have been a whole lot faster. I don't know how to do, but I'm using turrets. I do know there's probably one thing I could save time on. Is like a lot of the guys I watch aren't using turrets. So I'm throwing turrets out. My turrets are like crazy. It was really the only way I was able to beat the game.
Okay.
Because when I was going through the game, there were some things I couldn't do on my own, which is why I kept
Because you
wanting
needed
to
like
come
some
on.
assistance or something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Now I don't because I have these OP tier 3 mods.
Right.
But before when I was just going through the game, I didn't even get a legendary, Like it was very rare when I got a legendary. And I couldn't do it, man. And I was like, I don't know what to do. And so I was looking online and I didn't realize this, but we have the ice turret that you see me use. I get another turret called a blighted turret, and it's supposed to be like the toxic
That's
version.
the poison one, yeah.
But there's a mod that lets you transform the poison into freeze. And so I slapped that on my gear, and now I have 2 frozen turrets. And that, dude, helped me beat the game. Because the final boss I couldn't do. You want to know how I beat the final boss? Dude, he spawns like these little blue orbs, and they're shooting at you. And they shoot constantly. And like it's so hard to get shots off on the boss when you're constantly being pegged in the background by these things that are constantly respawning. So I couldn't beat it. So the only way that I beat it was when the boss came up, I'd throw my turrets right on him, and I would ignore him, and I would just shoot the blue orbs, and my turrets killed the guy. I never really killed him. My turrets did it on their own.
Yeah.
It's crazy, dude.
Damn.
Yeah, do what you
The
gotta
last
do to
fight is
survive,
nuts, man, in that game.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, so I've been pretty hooked on Outriders. I probably will still be pretty hooked on it. Although I know you said you're about to let us know what you played and Days Gone. And with all this, we're going to talk about it on the podcast, all this Day Gone stuff. I really been wanting to try Days Gone, like really, really been aching to try it. So I'm curious to hear what you have to say about it.
Yeah, so I started playing it. I told you guys last week that I had initially maybe played it for like 30 minutes or something like that to start, but this week I started actually playing it. And I've put in quite a few hours on it, maybe like 6 or 7, maybe more.
Nice.
And I've been playing it pretty heavy. Some of the
No, wait, are you just playing it because you're trying to muscle through it like a Marquette situation, or are you really enjoying it and you want to go back in and play it more?
No, I'm actually enjoying it.
Okay.
I'm actually like doing the side quests and stuff like that when they pop up. There's a bit of a struggle zone where you're trying to figure out like what to do next or how to progress. So it's kind of like, without giving too much away, your main goal, at least in this first part of the section or whatever of the game, is to fix your bike completely,
Right.
so that you can move
Which I
along
did
with
that.
your friend.
Well, I haven't fixed it, but I know that I'm in the process of doing that.
Right.
The little bit I played of it.
So to fix your bike is like, okay, you have a camp that is like more so focused on fixing your bike. So if you do things like you're out in the world, you find people, you tell them to go to this camp, you get more trust. So that brings up your rating. And then you get like, they call them like credits or something like that, camp credits for that specific camp that will allow you to purchase things. So as you bring people over there, as you do runs for them, specific missions that will help them out or whatever, your level will increase. Well, in order to fully, I guess, fix your bike all the way, I'm assuming right now, because I have yet to do it, you have to get the trust level to level 3. And to get it to level 3 is really tough, because there's not a whole lot of missions that pop up.
So you don't even have your bike yet? You're still using the loaner one or whatever?
So that is, I'm assuming the bike you have to fix is the loaner one, because that's the
Okay.
one you've put so much time in. I couldn't fathom why you would put so much time into the bike
Right,
for
if
it
it's a
to be
loaner,
just
yeah.
discarded and then you get
Right.
your old bike back. You know what I mean?
Right.
So once you can get to level 2 pretty quick. It's like really easy to get to level 2. And then once you're at level 2, you have like a lot more of the bike parts that you're able to upgrade. And then there's literally one piece to the bike that you could upgrade. And it's got something to do with like the frame or something like that. And the frame, in order to get the frame upgraded, you have to be at level 3 trust with that camp. So the grind from like 1 to 2 was like 5,000, but to get from 2 to 3 is 25, or it's like 22,500 or something like that. So it's exponentially a lot more trust you have to do. So you get access to another camp, and you're like, okay, do I do work for this camp and then send people to this camp? The only thing that the other camp has to offer for you is weapons. So it's nice to have weapon upgrades, but you'd have to dedicate every person that you find, all of your items that you get. Like you can go and collect flowers, you can collect ears from all of the freakers and stuff like that, and you can give them to camps and trade for credit. So if you put any kind of type of focus into the second camp, you're never going to bring up the first camp that you need to fix your bike.
Right.
So it's like you almost have to forego
Pick
one
one
or
of
the
them.
other in order to
Maybe later
to
in the
progress or
game or as
something.
you progress further, that's the resources become so readily available that you could just kind of upgrade what you want.
Maybe. I guess you
But-
would be able to blow through a lot more freakers if you
Yeah.
had better guns, and then
Yeah.
you'd be able to collect more ears, but the ears be like, pennies to the amount of trust
That you need
get,
to boost
that you need,
it.
yeah. So, just like playing the game in full, I like the mechanics. The sneak is pretty good. They also give you like your abilities as you level up, that will allow you to do more things. Like you can focus in survival, you can focus in ranged weapons, or you can focus in melee, and they all have their different little perks that will be
See, I was
better
going
as
to
you
ask
go.
you your opinion. When I was playing it, I was a little annoyed how like there's zombies everywhere, all over the place, all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Because like it doesn't feel like I didn't feel like there was any moments of like respite where you can like take a moment and just rest a bit. Like I felt like I was always on edge, like I was always sneaking
You gotta pay attention.
or walking around, and I didn't really like that feeling. I wasn't sure if it changes over time as I get more powerful, but at least initially, like I was like, dude, man, like if I mess up right now, I don't have enough ammo, to deal with this. I'll die. I didn't really like having that feeling all the time. So that was a little bit of annoying to me. Like I know, like for instance, in The Last of Us, when you walk into a zone, the zombies appear, And when you kill them all, you're done. You're like, okay, I'm done now. And I can kind of like explore. I can relax. I can stand up.
Yeah.
And I can search and junk. But this game doesn't seem like that. It seems like there's always guys around, and you don't want to use your gun because if you do, right, they're all going to come on you, and I'm going to die. So there was like that balance there that I was like struggling with.
It's actually not that bad. I mean, when you come to like a camp or something like that, and you go to clear out a camp that's in the middle of the woods, for the most part, once you clear out the actual enemies, you're able to freely roam and explore the area and see if they have any items that you want to pick up. Every now and again, a freaker might come and explore the camp, you know, because it heard the gunshots or whatever. But they're pretty good at, like, as long as they're a good distance away, they're not coming because you guys shot up some stuff, you know?
Yeah, I was hoping that as I played more and I got more ammo and more guns, I wouldn't be as afraid.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt really afraid. I'm at the start towards the third of the game.
Right.
Like, and I didn't have a bike, so I've been running.
Okay.
And it's like, dude, man, this is like really stressful running in this world.
Yeah, I think they try to give you that feeling, you know, off top, just to let you know what the world is like or whatever.
I wouldn't
But
have felt
after
as
a
afraid if
while-
I had like some ways to defend myself. I just felt like I didn't really have like that many ways to defend myself for
Yeah.
that many zombies.
As you're playing, you're able to, you know, you find like little things and stuff like that. But actually, unless you're getting bombarded by a swarm of the freakers, like the ones where like they pan the camera back and you see it's just a shitload of them out there, and they're telling you to run, then you can pretty much handle it. Like for instance, I found a cave because I was searching for the Nero drops. For the Nero drops will give you a gun that allows you to increase either your health, your stamina, or your focus. So I was looking for any of those that I could find on the map. So I went into one, and it was a cave. There was a couple of freakers outside. Boom, 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 kill them, go inside. I hear a lot of growling and stuff like that. I walk towards the edge of the cage. It's a dip down, and there's a shitload of them down there. Like a lot of them, almost about 60 or 70 down there. Just like some were swarming around, some were sitting there crouched, backs turned or whatever. But the moment you step up, they come flooding. So it's
a
almost
swarm,
like that
right?
swarm.
That
Yeah,
swarm
it's like a
thing?
mini swarm. So I literally
That's
had
ridiculous,
like
man.
I had my like assault rifle or whatever.
So
like
that's
a
not
tier
even
1.
like a thematic swarm then.
No, it's not. It's
That's
just
a
regular
lot.
one.
Isn't that a lot?
It's a lot, yeah.
I think that's
It was a
too
lot.
many, man.
So what I did was I tried to, as soon as I came up, they came at me, so I ran back. So I ran out of the cave, and then I ran around this little puddle or whatever, and kind of got some, and I kind of picked them off slowly but surely. You know, you can kind of, as long as you can get a good distance away from them, they just stop chasing, and then they'll go back in. And then you can pick off the stragglers that decided they wanted to keep following you or whatever. So it's kind of good with that, you know, because the AI will just give up on you.
That's good.
To not chase the shit out of you, you
Yeah.
know? But I was slowly able to like throw distractions down into the pen to get them to congregate somewhere, and then throw like grenades
or
or
a
bombs or
Molotov or
whatever.
something, yeah.
I literally used everything that I had in my arsenal.
Dude, that's frustrating.
But I was able to kill them all. Like I was at the point where I had only my knife, and I'm trying to take them down with my knife. Like, and you got to do a lot of swipes, but you could work it. So it is possible. It's just that you got to you got to play with
See,
it.
but
You gotta
now,
run, you gotta-
now you're like, now you're vulnerable, so you have to truck it back to camp immediately, right, to resupply.
But see, that's not that bad because, okay, so your bike becomes like your best friend, right? That's where you could quick save at. Your bike will let you quick travel anywhere that you've already been, as long as it's got the location markers around the map. So as long as you have enough gas, you can just beeline it straight to your camp and then resupply or whatever. Or you can beeline it to another camp that's close by, whatever. You can pop over there. So it makes it so that you can sit there, empty out everything, and then go back to the camps and then replenish some stuff. And then on top of that, if you're fighting actual people, you're able to pilfer their bodies and then maybe get a little bit of ammo from their guns or whatever.
yeah, I was just feeling like supply starved or like ammo starved. Like one mission, it's like I was going forward. I was like, dang, man, there's 5 or 6 more zombies. I don't know if I can handle that. And like you go forward and there's like 5 more. It's like, this is just like a lot. I feel like I'm being pushed to the brink here. Like that probably is by design, but that just robbed a little bit of like the enjoyment away. So I was hoping like as I got stronger, like I would become more like a zombie, destroying machine. Especially if they're throwing that many zombies at you.
Yeah, I think I've only died like maybe 2 or 3 times, and that was from a swarm. Like I ran into the wrong area, and then a swarm came, and like I didn't get back to my bike fast enough, because you can literally run to your bike with a swarm right behind you.
You mean just fast
get
travel?
on your bike, and then no, you can't fast travel while you're in combat.
Okay.
That's not. They're not letting you do
You
that.
just run on the bike and you just teleport out of there.
But you can run to your bike, and then you can get on your bike and immediately hit go, and then like run through the crowd.
Oh, wow.
and get out of there, or be able to take away. But like your bike starts pretty quick.
Are
and lets
you
go.
intended to kill the swarms? Like whenever I watch gameplay footage, they're like battling the swarm.
Yeah, there are some. You can shoot at the swarms, but they're coming, bro.
I know. It seems like you're able to stop it though.
Once you get like a strong gun, then they'll go down with your shots. But a lot of times, like if you ain't getting headshots, they're still coming at you. So you gotta kind of spray, run to like kind of dwindle them back a little bit. But it's literally just to get
away
to like your bike. Like you gotta run to
That's
your
so
bike
weird.
is like your safe haven.
That's so
if
weird
you can
to
get
me.
to the bike and you got gas. If you don't got gas, you asked. But if you got gas, then you can get to your bike and you can peel out of there. And you don't even have to go that far before the swarm decides that you're gone too far for them, and then they turn back around and do other stuff. But there's been like I hit one time where I was near a Nero camp, and then there was a swarm there. I attracted the swarm. And then I was like, oh shit, I found a big trash can, and I'm like, oh, let me go hide in the trash can. They saw me get in the trash can, so now they're just around the trash can. You can't do shit in the trash can. So it's like, okay, am I just going to sit here in this bitch and wait until
forever. Yeah,
they're going to
let's go
stay
die.
there?
Let's hop
or
out.
am I just going to hop out?
Yeah.
So I hopped out, and I was able to run. I had to attack a couple, but I was able to run and get away from that shit. So you can get away from the swarms. It's just,
Do you like that helplessness feeling though?
I mean, it's a zombie apocalypse world. You're kind of gonna get that.
But
So it's like
Yeah, but
it's
I
one of
don't
those
feel
things.
helpless in The Last of Us. It's a zombie apocalypse world. I didn't feel helpless in Dying Light.
I don't feel helpless in this. You would only feel helpless if you manage to get yourself cornered. But when you get yourself cornered, the freakers are just your life just like quick. But as long as there's open space, if you have room in front of you, you can get away.
I don't like playing having to run. Like, I understand like hiding a little bit, but like the notion of like I'm just running to survive, not like as a strategy to like end up killing them all.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how I feel about them going in that creative direction.
I feel like this is a little bit more closer to real life than it is the other games, where you're just OP'd and you can mow down onslaughts of guys coming at you. You know what I mean? Like this one, you literally have to like look and assess the situation. Okay, freakers are over there. I need to make a wide go over here.
I will
try
say
to be as quiet as I can and all that stuff.
I will say that I commend them for trying to go into a different direction, I guess, and that they sound like they did a pretty decent job of it. It's just I don't know how I feel about it. I would have to spend more time, like when I have time. It feels like a game that you want to kind of like spend, because you need to. You need to be a little bit more slower and meticulous. You can't just go in, running, gunning, and dead rising it up. You know what I mean? Like it's not like that. It sounds like so, because I like the dead rising kind of direction where I feel like I'm powerful and strong, and you're just like, yeah, there's lots of zombies, but I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
Like where there's a little worry because if you get 2 overswarms, sure, but like you're not like moving through the game like afraid all the time,
right?
But yeah, I am definitely interested.
Yeah. So I mean, as far as the game goes, right?
Have you run into any major bugs? That was like one of the biggest problems with it at the launch was the bugs.
I didn't have any bugs.
Okay.
I haven't had any bugs.
Yeah, they say after like the first few months they fixed a lot of them, but no one went and revisited it again.
Huh.
So
that sucks.
It just took a hit out of nowhere. A lot of people said like had they had that version of the game at launch, it would have done much better.
So on some cyberpunk type shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely didn't have any bugs or anything. I I thought that the graphics were okay. Like they were solid. I would definitely have liked to have seen a PS5, 4K ray tracing type of version on it.
Yeah.
But it's cool. It looks good.
It's a
for
PS4
it
game.
being a PS4,
It's a PS4 game.
Yeah.
It looks like a PS4 game.
Yeah, and,
but it's 60 FPS, which is awesome.
Right, and it it's smooth and everything.
That's a big help,
But I'm having fun in it. You know what I mean? There's Nero camps that pop up like
It's fun
all
getting
over the
Nero
map.
camps, right? Yeah.
There's definitely like in order for you to fast travel to like all of the locations, you need to clear out the nest areas. So once you come across a nest area, it's marked on your map. And then you literally just eliminate all the nests. And then once you have all the nests eliminated, now you can pop anywhere you want as long as you have the gas for it. And the good thing about it is, like, I don't know if it's because I'm playing it on easy or whatnot, but if...
Oh, and see, that's on easy. I forgot he's playing it on easy. I wasn't playing it on easy.
Okay, so
that's a different perspective
it's probably
we have.
more of a challenge.
That's why I was, like, creeping. It's like... I didn't like that feeling, man.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I mean, as I don't know if it's like on easy or if it's like that or whatever regular play. But
So that's huge.
there's gas
difference.
cans like almost like
So you're
every
fine.
major town
Yeah.
section. So as long as you can get to the next town section, you'll find a gas can. You can fill up. It's like unlimited gas in those cans.
Nice.
So you just fill up and then boom, you can fast travel or whatever. So I'm enjoying it playing on easy. Maybe you want to play it on
Yeah.
easy just to
that's interesting.
enjoy the story and
That's
go.
interesting.
Unless
Yeah.
you're trying to trophy hunt, then
I wasn't sure.
or
I just
go
play
for a
like
challenge.
we always just fire it
Yeah,
off on the level it was meant to. They designed it at.
Right. I told
I
you guys
didn't
I was
think
gonna
about
play it
doing
on
that.
easy just because I wanted to see the.
That was
story
actually a
and
smart
the
move,
game
I
and
think, because
stuff
I think
like
you
that.
actually probably feel it, much more understandable level, without even realizing that you did.
Yeah,
Because
I think
I've
so.
only experienced it at normal, and it makes sense that I probably would have enjoyed it more had it like gone in the direction you went.
Yeah,
easy.
I think you can change it mid game. So,
Yeah,
so-
because I was feeling really vulnerable, man. I was like, "Geez, this is different."
Yeah, I mean maybe I should put it on like hard and just see what it's like to like come across like
Yeah,
a
see what it's
swarm or
like,
something
right?
like that to see if your life goes.
I was
down,
having
but-
a lot of fun though, like sneaking around, killing the humans.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like that was decent. It wasn't quite as good as The Last of Us, but it was definitely rival in the sense that it felt pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Like sneaking and then using my silenced gun, to pick off some heads. I was feeling really good.
Right.
It was really the zombie stuff that I was getting a little bit irked by. Just
Right.
too many.
And
Just
the
felt like too
zombies
many.
are out there, but there's not a whole lot of times where there's just like those swarms with the cinematic swarms. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
the
There
thematic
will be like
meant to
large
be.
groups of
Yeah.
stuff. Like I ran smack dab into one because I was looking for a nest, and then I drove into it, and I was like, oh shit! So then I couldn't I couldn't turn around fast enough. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't expecting there to be that swarm there. But what's kind of cool is like sometimes like when you do die and it resets or whatever, some of the stuff is still left out there that you killed or whatever. Some of like if there was like an item or something like that might have been dropped, it's still there. So it's not cohesive like that,
Right.
but it's not logical, but
Right.
it's still there, so you can still collect stuff
Right.
or like the swarm pass, like it might have been there at one time and it's gone. But I'm definitely having fun with Days Gone. So if you guys have not checked out Days Gone, you do have a PS5 or a PS4 or whatever, because I think it's free for everybody now.
Yep. both
Check it out,
systems.
because it's one of those first party titles from Sony PlayStation.
Fell through the cracks.
And it is good. Yeah. I mean, I don't know why I took so long to play it. I think it's just like one of those things where it just came at like the wrong time for me. Like there was just some other games that I was more into or that I had gotten, so I just didn't stop to go and play that one.
Same.
You know what I mean? But I enjoyed this one, so I'm glad that I'm getting a chance to play it now. You know what I mean? So
And if you're not a PlayStation person, you can still get it on Steam on May 18th.
okay.
It's coming to Steam.
That's right. It's coming to
So-
PC.
I
Yep.
know.
So that'll probably
Everyone's
be
waiting for that.
that'll be a good launch because most likely no bugs this time. So we'll see how it.
So then we'll make some additional money on that game that they wanted. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So next we wanted to give some shout outs. So does anybody have a list of the people that have
No, I didn't make a
joining?
list today.
Yeah, we didn't do a list today. Let me see if I can spot some.
Let me see here.
Oh yeah, shout out Arachnosoul once again. He's always commenting, my man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, Arachnid.
Corporate Gamer, shouts out to you. Appreciate you. Preston Garvey, shouts out to you. Thank you for subscribing. Let's see. Sun Smoku. I like that name. That's a tight little name. Epic shout outs. They commented on there. Well, there's your shout out because the comment was, "Hey, can I get a shout out?" So well, there's your shout out. Epic shout out. So
bro.
subscribe. We did our end of the bargain. Yeah, and Tony D is subscribed, so I appreciate you. And Greg Garcia, that was like a week ago. I don't know if we mentioned those names already, but yeah, just a couple of names we wanted to shout out. But we also did want to thank you guys, the listeners, the viewers, because we finally hit 100 subs. You know, might not sound like a big feat to some people, but you know, we came in with like 6 or 7. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and we finally hit 100. So. We were on the road to 100, so now the road to 1,000. I'm on a small road to 200. I'm on a mini road to 200. Let's get to 200, but we're definitely trying to make it. Hopefully, we can at least double the number of subscribers that we got, that we get this year compared to last year. Yep. You know, so hopefully we can get, you know, to 300 this year or whatever. But with that being said, now that we've hit 100 subscribers, we did want to do a giveaway, just as like an appreciation to the people that are subscribed, and to the fellas that comment, the people that comment, you know, on there. So we really appreciate you guys' interaction, because it keeps us enthusiastic about continuing to do this when we see people are like commenting on the videos that we're making and stuff like that.
The best part about this is the conversations.
Yeah,
you
for
know?
sure.
That's the best part about this.
Yeah, and then hearing, you know, everybody else's unique opinions and stuff like that about certain things. You know, Arachnosoul's got like a lot of info that he be giving out and stuff like that. So and he plays some games, so it's cool.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so what we wanted to do is give away 2 gift cards. So and basically what we're gonna do is like the first person that we pick is gonna win either a PlayStation or an Xbox gift card, $20. Whichever one you want, we'll shoot it to you in an email or whatnot. And then for the second person we pick, you're gonna get a $20 Amazon gift card. So you can use that for a game, whatever you want. You know, you could take the $20 and buy yourself a PlayStation $20 gift card or whatever you would like to do with that. But basically, all we're going to ask you to do for this is to subscribe and then comment in this video. So we're going to have the full video of the podcast that we do every week, and then we're going to break this off into one other video. And pretty much if we mention the giveaway, you guys can comment on that. We're going to take all of the names of the people who've commented. Just, I don't know, maybe hashtag, you know, WLG giveaway or something like that in the comments if you ain't got nothing.
Or even if you just comment about the video, we'll jot you down. And make sure you subscribe too.
Any comment that's put on these videos that mention the giveaway. We're going to count those names. We'll probably find like some random name generator. I think Mark's got some in the books that he knows. So we'll put all of those names in there. And then a month from now, right? So we give you guys like 4 solid episodes or whatever, 3 episodes. And then on the 4th episode, we'll announce the winners, and we'll just do it live on the podcast. So we'll just, you know, bust out the computer, use the thing or whatever, and then we'll call out the names.
And one thing I want to mention too, I was talking to the fellas, we only have 100 subs, right?
Right.
So you got good odds, man. Really like this is 2 prizes. So these are the kind of giveaways you want to enter.
Yeah. So comment, guys.
Right.
And these are the best giveaways.
Of course, if you haven't subscribed yet and you subscribe, you know, 101, you know, subscribers, or you know, 104 right now or something like that. You know what I mean? So you still have a good percentage of a chance.
It's really strong.
We're gonna try to do these, you know, as often as we can, but you know, obviously we ain't making no money off this, so you know what I mean. It's just
whenever we hit a milestone,
you know, whenever we
we'll
can
throw some at you,
right,
for supporting us.
So so all you got to do once again is just subscribe and then comment on the video that talks about the giveaway. You can you know, be my guest to comment on all of the videos if you like. We'll talk back to you. But as far as this giveaway is concerned, as long as you put a comment on any video that the giveaway is mentioned, then you will have a chance to enter. And I guess you can enter as many times as you wanted. You can make as many separate comments as you want. But we're just gonna put the names in there and then get it to go through and pick 2 people. So PlayStation or Xbox gift card, $20, and then an Amazon $20 gift card. But yeah, so once again, thank you guys for listening and watching and commenting, and and please subscribe so you can enter in the competition.
Subscribe.
So the first thing that we want to do with the podcast is get into the quick shots. So one of the first things that we had was Amazon has canceled the Lord of the Rings MMO RPG.
Surprise, surprise.
You were the first one that had mentioned this to us about Amazon doing that Lord of the Rings MMO RPG, and you found out about this. So are you sad?
So
they're not doing this.
So personally, let's go back to last year. The other MMO that they're working on,
which was like New World.
New World.
Okay.
Right? It was supposed to last May of last year. Well, when everyone started doing like the early access and the beta, the game was complete crap in my opinion. So instead of releasing it in 2 or 3 weeks which it was supposed to come out,
right,
they said, sorry guys, we're gonna push it back a whole year. But it was during this COVID era. I guess
we'll chalk it up to COVID.
No, well, yeah. I guess we'll forgive it because it's COVID era. Everyone does it,
Right.
And fast forward till now, they released a first-person shooter which failed. It only lasted like 3 or 4 months.
What was the name
Crucible.
of the first? Okay,
it was like a team-based objective shooter, which I thought was pretty fun. Excuse me, I'm about those things. And that game got released. It was free, and then canceled a couple months later. Didn't even last a whole year.
Damn.
And then fast forward to now. This game was first announced in 2017. The lead of the studios, his name is John Smedley. So I had high hopes for this because one of my favorite games is EverQuest. He was a part of the EverQuest team. So all those EverQuest people I hold high in my books. So I was like, all right, maybe he can do it. Maybe with unlimited money from Amazon, he can make something happen. But that's not the case. New World is not going well, and this game is canceled. So it sucks because I feel like what they should have done is made New World with the Lord of the Rings skin, because you would have got people playing it no matter what.
Yeah, stick to Lord of the Rings and drop New World, right?
Yeah.
Switch it.
So like however new all the development for New World should have been, you should have made that game should have been Lord of the Rings.
We all want Lord of the Rings
just cancel
MMO.
New World.
Yeah, we all want MMO Lord of the Rings. We all want that, right? Yeah, exactly.
Because Lord of the Rings would have been decent no matter what.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So my faith with this studio has been dropping and dropping. It's crazy to think that Amazon, right? The power of the world,
I know
having they're giving up quick on these
$1
games, though, man.
Company, right? Like one of like the few $1 trillion companies on the planet. $1 trillion company.
They can't make games, man.
What is the deal? Like you said, I don't know. They must not be throwing unlimited resources. What is the deal? How can they not make a game? And the games are crap. Like they look bad too. Have you seen them? Like even New World, like the graphics don't look good. They look like garbage. Like what is this half-ass attempt at making games?
I wouldn't say garbage.
They're not putting any effort into it.
Crucible was a little garbagey.
Are they putting?
New World wasn't bad,
dude. Okay, let me preface garbage in the sense that you're a $1 trillion company, right? When Returnal is looking light years ahead of you from an indie studio, right? Then what is going on here? I don't know. I can't understand what's going on. My only explanation is they're half-assing it. They're not throwing money at it. They're not giving it the attention it deserves. They're trying to just jump in half-assed to get part of that industry, the gaming industry. They're not actually committing to it like they've committed to their other things that they've done.
You would think for them to like enter into this world of like video game development, right? And them being Amazon, that they would sit there and like, I don't care if you postpone the bitch 5 years, but like put your absolute best foot forward.
If you're going to enter, you try your best at first, right?
Because this is your first one, right? Yes. This is essentially what would be the star of Amazon Luna. This would be like your bread and butter. If you cannot make this good, nobody will have as much faith in you as a video game production.
Like talking about Microsoft buying Bethesda, That would be easy for Amazon.
Yeah.
That's like a drop
they
in
should
their.
have done that.
They're way higher than Microsoft.
They should have bought like 3 or 4 studios.
That would have been yes. And now you have some quality games that are going to be successes that are going to look good. I don't know what they did. They went in this random direction, just like compiling random devs or who knows what, and gave them a minuscule, fund to make a game, and it looks like that. That's what it looks like. Like you get what you pay for, kind of thing.
Yeah. The new saying is, if you can't beat them, buy them.
Yeah, if you can't beat them, buy them.
And Amazon, you guys are messing up, right? But it kind of sucks too, because just think about it. Like, you have unlimited money. You're trying to hire people for your gaming studio, but everyone else is on, all these awesome teams. I wonder how, Sony must be treating a lot of those people right, because they didn't really get many. They got people from, that were kind of retired later on in their life. EverQuest came out in 1999, so they're getting some older people to get on the MMOs. But I think that shows you too how difficult it is to create a game.
Oh yeah,
you can't just throw a bunch of money and hope you create a good game.
This is like the NBA, like you have superstars, and the whole point is to retain talent. It's hard to get new talent, so you got to retain the talent you have.
Yeah, right.
And I think like that's like the problem here. You have these really great polished studios that are pumping out great games, and it's all about just keeping those guys.
Yeah.
And it's hard to make a new one. And I think that's. But you would think if anyone could do it, Amazon could, because if you can't beat them, buy them.
Yeah.
And you would get all the great talent in the world flocking to you. Like you would think the best talent in the world would flock to you if you made it worthwhile for them.
Yeah.
But speaking of well polished, right? Horizon Zero Dawn, the complete edition is actually now available for free. It's part of their home
Free 99,
play at home initiative. So that one is available. So go and download that now. If you have not played that,
it's a limited time download, guys. A limited time free buy, so get it ASAP.
And it's
at least just add it to your library.
I need to actually get it because I haven't even played the DLC yet of those.
Right,
games.
I haven't either. So that's definitely something that I might want to check out.
It's kind of like a PSA. Do it now. Go now. You're hearing this?
Just add it to the cart.
It's so good.
Add it to the library
for free. The complete. Okay, come on.
That's really
get
nice.
on it.
Yeah. And I think if you're playing on the PS5 version, isn't it upgraded a little bit?
I think there's
like at least 60 frames per second on that.
I think
so.
And luckily, this wasn't one of the PlayStation Plus titles that was included with the PS5. So this is a unique title for.
Yeah.
This is separate. This is totally separate. Yeah. So
unlike Days Gone, But anyways.
Yeah. So another quick shot is Discord and Microsoft. It's not happening. It looks like Discord stopped conversations with Microsoft about them being purchased, and they decided that they want to be their own entity or whatever, and that's completely fine with me. We talked about this before a couple of podcasts ago, and we kind of all had the same consensus that this would be a bad move if Microsoft were to engulf Discord, right? They would have to kind of keep it moving on its own and then just reap from all of the data that they're getting or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely.
See, for me, it's like there was good potential. We had high hopes. Like, how cool would it be to integrate Discord into the chat system?
Yeah.
We were talking about how cool that would be.
Right.
But what we didn't believe was that Microsoft could do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I would rather
they would want to do it.
Yeah, I would rather them walk away than have that small chance of it being something cool than the larger chance of them destroying it like they did with Skype or a lot of the things that happens when Microsoft acquires these places.
Yeah. So I guess we'll see what things in store Discord has, if they try to do any more things to improve their service. But I mean, as of right now, it's a great thing to use.
I love Discord.
Yeah, check out the WLG Discord.
How many millions of people are on Discord? You said something like
it was almost comparable to Twitter. I forgot how many million.
That's insane, man. A lot of people are on Discord. Yeah. I'm not really on it, but a lot of people. I love Discord, dude. Discord.
I'm on it every day.
Yeah, for sure. You're on that WLG Discord, right?
Yeah, man. Admin, join, guys.
So just whenever you play a game, you hop in, huh?
It's just,
whenever you sit down to play a game, you hop in, or what?
Whenever he's playing with the fellas, at least. Right?
It's the one program that I start when my computer starts. It's always on.
So yeah, even when you're not playing a game, you're on it. Yeah. You're talking to someone.
No,
or he's just there to get the notifications.
I'm logged in, so I have it on my separate screen. And then when I play a game,
use it for anything more than talking?
All communication only.
So just like chat, Twitter kind of thing.
There's a bunch of Discord. There's a bunch of rooms that I'm in, and I chat.
So you see chats coming up, and you might respond.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I see. So you're using it for more than just like talking.
Yeah, more than voice.
verbally. Okay.
Yeah, I'm in a couple with people that I know in real life. I'm in one with Cal State because now they have an esports team at Cal State, so I joined with that one. Yeah, there's a bunch of just like community ones that I'm a part of that I never actually spoken, but on typing and stuff I chat all the time. So I like it. It's a good community
Because it's more live. It's more about
It's
discussions
more real time.
rather than just like a blurb here.
Yeah.
Right? Which is what Twitter is. So it takes it a step further, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then for the last quick shot that we have, the Marvel's Avengers creative director, what's his name?
I can't remember his name.
Yeah, he decided to go back to Naughty Dog.
Nice.
So, he
They took him
left.
back?
Yeah, so it seems like they took him back with open arms. So it looks like he left to go and work on Marvel's Avengers. And I guess their plans have been set in stone. Like, they've already got everything laid out that they're going to do for that game. And so he dipped out and went back to Naughty Dog.
Sean Escaig?
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. There you go. That was his name.
Yeah.
So I mean, do we consider that he left a burning building?
Yeah.
To go back home?
He made a smart choice, dude. Going back to Naughty Dog, good job, good for you, man. Yeah. And
he must have been like really great for them to just welcome him back with open arms, which is good news for us.
They don't want Amazon to buy him,
Dog. Yeah, they don't want Amazon to buy him. Yeah. So sweet, man.
Yeah, so hopefully that means, great things in store for Naughty Dog, right? If they've been producing great games
more
and then
great talent.
They lost some of their people, but they're getting them back now, hopefully, that continues to maintain, But getting into the first topic of the day, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic looks like it'll be getting a remake. And it looks like it is in development currently right now.
Yep.
Now, this game came out when? Like, what, 2009 or something like that?
Nah, dude.
Way later than that? Or what?
Knights of the Old Republic?
Yeah.
This came out on original Xbox.
So it's like
this came out in 2004, 2003, somewhere around there. Because I remember I bought this game as a little kid at Costco or Sam's Club.
Okay.
Yeah, it's by developer Aspire.
Right.
And it is in development right now.
Uh-huh.
And when do you have when it came out? There's
I'm trying to look and see when it came out because it was with BioWare, right? Well, it was Aspire and BioWare were the ones that did it.
It came out 2003. Yep.
2003.
2003. That's when I graduated high school, dude.
Dude, 2003, man. So I mean, obviously, when we played it back then, right? Did you ever play Knights of the Old Republic?
I bought it at Sam's Club, like I just said, Costco as a kid.
Okay, yeah. So when we played that game, that was a great game. It was one of the most memorable titles that I played. That was a Star Wars game. I love that one. So for them to do a remake, that's kind of like a pretty big thing. I mean, I'm not too into playing old ass games. So if I were to recommend Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, it'd have to be like there was literally like nothing out for like 2 years or something like that for me to recommend the old version.
Oh, okay.
But it is getting remade. It is now in the territory of new games for me, so I can recommend that if this thing is remade and they actually spruce it up quite a bit, right? Like giving it great graphics, giving us that 60 frames per second, that this is like a must buy.
I don't want just like a 60 frames per second 4K upgrade. I want a real remake.
You want like Demon Souls
remake? I want a Demon Souls Final Fantasy VII level remake, a legitimate, authentic remake. That's what I want. If they do something like that, and all of a sudden it looks like Final Fantasy VII, like a completely different game, then I'm down.
Dang.
And I can't wait. Although Stone and I do know all the little secrets of that game.
But I feel like you could add more.
Storyline secrets. What if they added more? That'd be cool.
You could add more,
like
man. I mean, there's so much. Yeah, there's so much more lore and stuff like that in the world. You know what I mean? So much more.
But
canon.
that game was like, it was cutting edge in the sense of like world exploration and openness.
Right.
It was like one of the first games
really
ever,
open.
to really be open, not just in like what you could do, but like in the dialogue, because you made choices and the answers you gave either went light or dark. Like it was just so perfect, man. And we all love that era. That was back long before the movies take place, when you had everyone was a Jedi Knight. Like there's tons of them. It was in normalcy within society. The Jedi Knights ruled the world. You had tons of Sith in the world. So it was definitely an era that all Star Wars fans have always wanted to revisit. We've always wished they'd make a movie in that era. And so that's why this game is just so great on all levels.
And you'd have to correct me if I'm wrong, but that was at least one of the first titles that gave you an option to choose what path you wanted to go, like if you wanted to go good or bad.
Apart from Fable.
I was just checking, but Fable was done in 2004. So if that game came out in 2003,
so they're very close.
I mean, obviously Fable was in production before 2004's release. But
who knows who came up with the idea first?
Right,
But
so that's like,
we loved that.
That was like a game changer as far as like open world games went for us. Is the fact that you could choose whether you wanted to be good or bad.
And your abilities were dependent upon it too. Like certain abilities you couldn't use unless you were light or dark.
Right.
And so you really had to make a decision.
Your appearance, and how people reacted to your appearance and different things like that. Like all that stuff was dependent upon, the choices that you made in the game, which was, one of the awesome things that I liked about Fable. Yeah. So to have it in
see, like Fable's very memorable to me, but Knights of the Old Republic is even more so, just because of the big story revelations that occurred in that game. Like,
was Knights of the Old Republic canon
all time? No,
okay.
I don't think it was.
I wonder if they could make it canon now.
It was, I think, for a while there, but when Disney bought it, Disney changed all the canon.
Right.
They said only the movies are canon, and everything that they produced from that point forward is canon.
Yeah, I remember. The only games I played on my original Xbox was Halo Combat Evolved. I bought this game, and then I bought Jade Empire. I think it's also by BioWare.
Oh yeah, I love that one too.
Jade Empire was
really like Jade
Empire. But the
Empire.
thing is, back then I didn't get super into any of those except for Halo Combat Evolved. I remember for some reason I just couldn't get into Knights of the Old Republic when I played it as a 13-year-old. But I'm really excited to play it.
We were
now.
a little older than you.
Yeah. I remember that I would just... Could you gamble? Can you go to the cantina? Remember, I'd go to the cantina. Mm-hmm. I think there's some gamble.
I don't know if you can gamble. I can't remember if you can gamble. Maybe.
I don't know.
I think there might have been something like a slot machine or something.
There's
like that
some NPC or something.
I'm not sure.
I remember I used to hang around there, but I didn't really get too far in the game. But I'm really excited to try to play it again because I know everyone talks about how amazing this was a game. I don't have too many memories of it. But I like anything Star Wars related. So I definitely hope that, this comes out sooner than later. Because I'll definitely, buy it day one. Just because literally everybody I know
I was hooked.
that played it, that was hooked on it, was like, dude, this is like a masterpiece.
Yeah, I couldn't stop. It is a masterpiece.
And this was when, BioWare was legit back in the days.
Yeah. This is why I would say if anyone's never played it or heard anything of it, I would recommend them try it. Of course, now don't. Now wait. Now wait until the remake comes out. Right. But if you had no other option, I would play it. I'd get an Xbox to play it. Like, it's that good.
Because I think it's on mobile now. So I was thinking about getting it.
Oh, you say play the old ass one?
I would if I could. If that was the only way someone could experience it, I would say, okay, try it. Try to find a way to experience it. Now I wouldn't because the remake's coming out, and so totally wait.
Right.
Because you're gonna love it even better. But that's like, I'm not kidding, man. You probably agree with me. Like, top 5 reaction feelings of all time.
It was a great game.
That experience, like,
and it was
some
one
of the story reactions were like top 5 all time. You know, story reveals.
Yeah,
like up there with BioShock and stuff.
I spent a lot of time in that game. Like, that was like exploring every part of the galaxy.
Yeah.
Every planet, all of that stuff. Like, doing everything you could in that
Throwing my saber at all sorts of people, man.
Dude, man, they had some dope abilities in that one.
Dude, I love the pausing too, like how you pause the game and like I like it was like the first time where like they mixed that turn-based and live action kind of concept.
Right,
It was
right.
so
Where
much
you
fun.
could kind of like plan.
I loved that freedom.
And strategize a little bit.
Yeah,
and
like
stuff.
even the combat felt free, right? Like,
Dude, the mobile version looks pretty darn good.
Yeah.
yeah, for a mobile game, right? Just
I think
for
it looks
for
good.
a mobile game. Yeah, it's not bad for a
I think you
mobile
just go
game.
up and down.
Okay.
It doesn't look bad. It looks like they changed the interface a little bit.
Yeah,
It's like 10.
Yeah, it actually doesn't look that bad.
It's $10 on the for the.
For sure, for a mobile game, it's like as far as mobile games are concerned, yeah, it doesn't look that bad at all.
yeah. I remember like you wanted the red sabers, right? You really
Oh,
wanted to
yeah,
go.
dude.
Oh yeah.
I had to
pretty
have
good,
the
actually.
red
Actually, that is
kyber
not bad.
crystals
That
and
looks
stuff.
updated to a degree because you can make out the facial features and everything. This is man, totally. This is like nostalgic, like that double saber, that girl back there with the double. That's totally like nostalgic, right?
Yeah,
there.
dude. I remember that.
Me
man.
too,
You could
man.
get that
Like
stuff, dude.
totally.
Yeah, so this is great news. You know, we had talked like I think like another 2 podcasts ago about like remakes and like kind of what we thought would be like a good time to do a remake, and when it's just too
this
damn
is definitely-
early.
versus
Yeah.
Last of Us. Yeah,
Yeah,
18
two-
years? Woo.
2000, yeah,
This is the time we're
2003,
ready. Now
bro,
we're
when this
ready.
thing
Yeah,
came out.
exactly.
Like,
18
Exactly.
years.
yeah, it's
we were
like
ready.
old as shit.
Yeah.
Like it could definitely get a remake, you
Yeah,
know,
we're
and then
ready.
be introduced to a whole new group of gamers that have never experienced it before, and they would enjoy it and love it, you know. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing more about this and seeing, you know, how they've actually remade it. You know what I mean? To see like what's been improved and
Yeah,
stuff.
and we always like it when they have a developer that's not the main one that made it, developing it.
Because they're not
taking
wasting
resources.
BioWare's time
Right,
or whatever
right.
to do this. So who was the people that are making
Aspire.
this one? Aspire. So
Yeah.
Aspire did it the first time. It's still doing it the second time.
Yeah, they did the remaster.
Okay,
They
so
did
I
the
wonder
first
if-
remaster.
I wonder
That's why
if-
it looks a little better. Aspire did that. Aspire also did the remaster of the newest Commando, Star Wars Commando,
Oh,
which I
yes.
freaking loved on my Xbox too. You played that too, right, Stone?
I don't think I
Star
played
Wars
Commando.
Because that's on PlayStation now.
That was original Xbox.
Yeah,
The Aspire did that one.
Squid's been telling me, "Oh, dude, you got to get it."
Dude, I loved
So
that.
I
when
didn't
was
play
a
it,
kid.
but
That's
he played it.
memorable too.
That's a good one.
Like it's not like a top 5 memorable. It's like, but it was really, really good.
Nice.
Like it was polished. I remember I was like, man, this feels really fun when I was playing it
Nice.
as a kid.
Yeah, so I mean, BioWare, Obsidian, and Aspire developed the first game, not the remastered and all that stuff, but the very first game. So the fact that they still got Aspire on it probably means that BioWare will probably be the ones to publish it again, right?
Maybe, I'm not sure.
I
Yeah.
thought EA was a publisher. Doesn't EA own BioWare now?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, you're right. Yeah,
Yes.
publishers were LucasArts, EA, and Disney, or whatnot since 2012. Disney.
Yeah, the
but,
remaster.
But
was
by
Disney.
then, yeah. So I'm wondering if just Aspire will just be the only ones working on this,
I think
or
so.
if BioWare
yeah.
will be getting
Aspire
into
will
it.
be
at all.
working on it only.
But I mean, they did the first one, so they already know, you know, what to do.
I just hope they're
so-
giving us a proper one, man. Just give us a proper remake, dude.
Yeah, for sure. But
Don't BS with this
definitely
Prince
excited.
of Persia. It's not a remake, man. I'm sorry.
Nah, that was terrible. But so it looks like PS Plus was had like a new feature or something added to it that was kind of leaked in where was it? And like
Poland?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I was gonna say Portugal or something like that. It started with a P.
Poland.
But yeah, so it looks like there was like a PS Plus videos leaked, some type of extra added on feature to PlayStation Plus that would allow people to watch like Sony's movies. I'm guessing like all of their in-studio movies that they've done. So this would possibly include, it would definitely include all of the older Spider-Mans, but possibly would include some of the newer Spider-Mans with Marvel or whatnot, maybe depending on the deal that they've done.
I definitely don't think it's going to be like new releases like Max, HBO Max kind of thing.
Oh, you don't think it would be like Venom would be on there and stuff?
No,
think
yeah.
Venom
I
would
just
be on
don't
there.
think like if they launched a new movie.
Oh, they
like
wouldn't launch it
Uncharted,
on there.
It's not going to be launched on there simultaneously as like, you know, HBO Max is launching movies
Yeah.
simultaneously with theaters.
Right,
It's not
right,
going
right.
to be like that, I don't think.
Yeah, but it
Old
was
movies like Venom,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
right.
think
But
will be
I
on
guess they saw it inside of was it an ad or a store or on the PlayStation Store that they saw it at? I believe. I think they saw that inside the PlayStation Store, but it was in Poland.
Yeah, something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
On their PSN store or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it was quickly taken off. And then we have not heard.
And now it suddenly
anything
has
else
vanished.
from it. Yeah,
And
it
now
was
suddenly
it
it's
was
gone.
actually listed when they saw it to be available the next day.
Yeah.
But I have not heard anything else about
Haven't
it.
seen it
I
either.
have not heard that it has been released and that people are
Mysteriously
able to get
vanished.
that. So I wonder if it's there, but it's just like in the background somewhere hiding. Like, maybe there was like some special access, when you go into the Sony movies and like all the shit's free or something like that. But I don't really know too many people
Yeah.
going on their PlayStations to watch,
Movies.
and purchase the movies that Sony has to offer on their stuff. Maybe they do. Maybe they're utilizing their Sony rewards or something like that to purchase movies. But I, however, have not. I don't think I've ever really
Not
gone
once
on
have
there
I bought a movie from
to
Sony.
check out
Yeah.
stuff. So,
I
but
used to have movies on my PSP. I used to buy the discs. You guys remember
Oh,
that?
yeah,
Remember
yeah,
how they
yeah,
used to
yeah,
use-
yeah.
Yeah, the PSP.
we had
discs,
we
they
had
had
got like a
movies, you're
free
right.
movie or something like that.
Yeah,
at
you're
one
right.
point in
Down
time.
got
like a
I
night
got
or
Spider-Man.
something
one.
like that.
I think we
yeah.
got Spider-Man. That was
Was it Spider-Man?
Oh
was
yeah,
a
the
freebie.
original Spider-Man.
I could have
yeah.
sworn there was like a Fast and Furious one that was for free. or
I think I
something
bought
like that.
Fast and Furious for it. But dude, yeah, that was kind of cool. Hopefully, that
That little PSP was so cool, man. Back in the day.
was ahead
That
of its
damn
time, dude.
case, man. I didn't like the case because the disc, the mini DVD drive or whatever, that disc, dude. If you crack that case,
I
it's
know,
like
it's
done.
toast.
You can't
Yeah.
use that thing at all, man.
Yeah, but I think this is interesting. I don't really care about if they add more videos. I'd rather those resources give us more games.
Same.
Because it's my gaming platform. But if it doesn't internally take a lot for them to do this, because they own all these movies, they already have them on the store, so maybe they'll let us add them to the cart or something, and then now we have them as long as we have PlayStation Plus. I could see them not wasting a lot of time adding this feature. So if it doesn't have a lot of, if we just get a free movie every month or something, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm hoping their angle here isn't to add some of these features and then down the line raise it $1 or $2 a
Charge
month.
more,
You
yeah.
know, I hope the angle is more so just trying to get new
Compete.
users.
Just cause.
Yeah, just to get new users. Like, oh wow, I get that now too. You know what? Maybe I'll make the plunge now and actually subscribe.
Yeah.
Like I'm hoping that's the angle. Because I don't want this to be slowly over time they give us a few perks here and there and then just raise the price.
To
on
figure
us.
out a reason to charge us
to
more.
figure
They
out a
start throwing
reason.
random shit at
right.
us. Like,
That's what I don't want to
I
happen.
bought this PS Plus for games. I didn't buy this shit for movies. Why are you charging me?
Otherwise,
for
I'm
this,
like,
you know?
Mark, you keep it, man. Like,
Yeah.
I don't need that.
Right.
Like, okay, fine. If you're gonna do it free and never use it as a reason to screw me,
Yeah.
whatever. But otherwise, keep it. I don't want it because I'm not watching movies on my PlayStation or buying Sony movies on my PlayStation, anyways.
Yeah, I mean,
You know?
I rarely ever, I hardly ever find the time to pull up Funimation or Crunchyroll to watch an anime on my PlayStation. You know what I mean? And most of the time, my PlayStation is on. I'm playing that bitch.
Yeah, if it's on,
So-
I'm playing it. I might have an Xbox out in the living room where I might watch movies or a Roku.
Yeah.
That's what I'm using.
Right,
So
right,
you
right.
use
Yeah,
your
my
PlayStation.
Apple TV or something like that. I'm using
yeah,
that.
exactly.
But I'm not really using my PS5 to go and watch this stuff on. You know, I think that's more so for people that don't have
Yeah.
all the other different.
And even when I
interfaces and stuff
am
like
watching things on Roku or whatnot, I'm not buying,
me
movies. I'm
neither.
streaming.
Just streaming, right?
Which is on Sony, they don't really have a streaming option. It's all buy, and I don't know. I'm just never using my PlayStation for that.
that. Right. Yeah, I'm kind of like with you. If they're not using any extra resources or whatever to figure this thing out, and they just want to give it to us
Yeah.
just as
Sure.
just cause, you know what I mean? Just throwing something extra. Thank you for being a PlayStation Plus subscriber. I'm there for it, but I definitely do not want a price increase for no movies getting
Yeah,
added
I
for
don't
some
even-
shit I'm not even gonna watch.
I don't think I would even watch them. I don't even think I would watch it.
Yeah.
Half the stuff is already on Netflix and everything
Yeah.
else.
I would add it to the cart because I like building my collection of stuff.
right, for sure. If I
But
could
would
just
you
keep it.
actually sit down and watch the 2-hour movie, even if they gave it to you for free? Would you
I'm trying to think what they have that I don't already have or haven't seen,
Right.
and I don't think there's anything they really have. So I don't know, man.
Yeah,
Maybe I might
that's-
watch Venom again because I know we saw that on thing. Maybe
Yeah.
the movie was pretty decent. It wasn't
It was
amazing,
cool. Yeah.
but I would probably watch that again. Maybe.
I don't
But like
know if
you're
I would.
saying, I don't we could stream these things other places. I
Yeah.
think so. It's nothing unique.
Yeah,
So-
for sure. And so for another topic, Xbox xCloud looks like it's starting to move forward with its betas. It's been in alpha or something like
No,
that.
it's been beta for a while.
Been beta for a good minute.
Yep.
But it's just been restricted to only Android phones. And then it's also, I guess, not that great from what you guys have been telling me, right? Is that it's not really.
Mark had a really good experience
performance?
with it. I had a decent experience with it. It wasn't where I wanted it to be because there's still a little delay.
Okay.
So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would say it's good for like little
Yeah, it depends on the
indies and little single players. But when I was playing Remnant from the Ashes, I did see there was some latency issues. I did play Batman, and surprisingly, Batman Arkham. Which one is it?
Asylum or
What's the newer one? Is it Arkham Asylum?
Arkham Knight?
Arkham Knight. Arkham
Yeah.
Knight. Arkham Knight actually was pretty like butter, but Remnant from the Ashes was laggy.
Okay.
So
What is that? Is that like part of the developer? I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Like why one game would be
Smooth.
relatively modern games. They're kind of comparable modern wise.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Remnant's a little newer than Arkham Knight is.
Yeah.
Maybe
so
it's the
that
efficiency.
helps. But
Maybe it's like the efficiency of the
who
coding.
knows?
Yeah,
Could
I
have
don't
been
know.
my
I don't
wireless
know,
at that
yeah.
time. I was in my room, so I was kind of far away from my router.
see, I wasn't. I was right next to it.
Oh,
I have
okay.
You like
fast
hugged up
internet,
against it so you could play it?
'Cause my router's in my office and I was in my office and
Okay.
it was still like choppy.
Dang.
It was like frustrating for me.
Yeah, I
So,
guess the biggest issue for me was the fact that I have an Apple phone and there was no way for me to be able to try it out. I would have to get some type of an Android device to check it out. So now, with this next wave of rollouts, right, they've sent out invites, and I guess they will be continuously sending out invites to people who are subscribed to the Game Pass Ultimate. And you'll be able to now play some of these games on your web browser or whatever.
Nice.
I guess they use that loophole, like who was it that we first saw had the loophole? Was it Amazon or
It was
or what? It was one
Was
of
it
them.
Stadia? No.
Was it Stadia?
loophole.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
another
there was
company did it first.
You couldn't do an app because Apple was holding up. They were bottlenecking the apps, the way the apps worked. So they heard Nvidia, because Nvidia had the app or whatever going for it, and they stopped how it goes because they want to be able to rate every game. They want to be able to manage how the games are and stuff. So they made it so that you had to go in through the web browser in order to be able to use the service.
Okay.
And so one company, I forgot, well, we talked about it like,
forgot who it was.
almost
Right.
like, sometime last year about it. But one company had figured the back door was to just go through the web browser and make it so that, your application or whatever ran through Safari or whatnot, or even Google Chrome or something. So it looks like Xbox has finally taken that path.
That's
and
cool.
so now iOS phones will be able to access the xCloud
cloud,
once
yeah.
they get the invite or whatever through the Safari browser. So I'm definitely hoping I can get an invite. If anybody from Xbox happens to watch this, slide me one. You know what I mean? You could just the WLG email is in the bio. It's in the description. So shoot us a link. Because I'm trying to check it out. I'm definitely trying to play it on my iPhone.
I'm curious to see how it
See how
runs.
it's going.
See how it runs.
Yeah, and they
In
say
the
you just
browser
hook up
too.
your
Like it's in the
Xbox
browser,
controller.
right?
Yeah.
The cloud's in the browser, not just on iPhone, but like on PC now too, right?
Right.
So
Yeah, it's
I'm
worked like that
curious
for
how
Windows
see
also.
it, how it rolls on those. That's a pretty big
Maybe
one.
if you're hardwired, it might be okay.
Yeah, because you have your laptop with you. You go somewhere, you have your laptop with you, and you can game now. Your Xbox games. You don't have to bring your Xbox with you. So
Right, and then it
Curious
also
how it
seems
worked.
like they're trying to do integration a little bit different with this next wave that's come out. So they're actually trying to allow you to have xCloud on your Xbox console, so that you could essentially play from your browser or from your phone
all right.
on the game running through the cloud, and then you could transfer it to your Xbox and play on your console through the cloud.
And that way you can kind of play your PC games on your Xbox console too.
Right, you
Yeah.
could do that. But
Yeah.
one of the biggest things that they were talking about was making it so that when you play these big ass games, that you're just able to essentially play them off top. Like you immediately take a game comes out on Game Pass, you're immediately able to play it on your Xbox. You don't have to download it and install it.
Right.
And it'll allow you
nice
to
thing
be
about
able
the cloud,
to.
for
That was
sure,
really nice,
for
right?
sure.
Because we sit there, we get a new game, and then we have to wait 45 minutes, an hour for the damn thing to install and load up and everything. So
especially because now your hard drive's prime real estate. So you're like, hey, I'm not sure about this game. Let me just stream it, and if I like it, I'll install it.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
and for you to be able to take that game save or whatever, save it to your console, and then once the game has installed, then you're able to just play it from there. You don't have to deal with the streaming. You know what I mean? So that's really nice. I'm definitely interested to check that out and see how it's gonna work. If it's gonna be great, with streaming it, and then the smooth transition to get your save onto your console so that your console's game recognizes it and whatnot. But it's nice. I like that option because that's one of the things that I hate the most when you get a day one release is having to wait for the damn thing to install.
Right.
So definitely if anybody has actually gained access to the second wave of betas for xCloud, or they've already had access to the beta,
leave a comment,
let us know
Yeah.
exactly how that's running and how that's going for you. And if any one of us gets it, we'll definitely give you an update on it to check it out. And so for the last topic that we have for today, there's been a lot of stuff going on with PlayStation recently. Within like the last solid year, I'd say like before shit went down with COVID,
up until now.
Up until now, it's been kind of like a lot of random news from PlayStation that was most of it bad, but there's the good that comes with it also. But some of those things we kind of been talking about in our group chat, and we were thinking we should discuss it. So a couple of things that took place was just recently there was like a big cry for Sean Layden to come back to be the CEO of PlayStation, right? Because currently we have Jim Ryan as the CEO of PlayStation, but Sean Layden was the CEO of PlayStation somewhere around like 2019. Sometime in 2019, he stepped down. Jim Ryan took over for that. Now, Jim Ryan has been a part of the company for the longest. He's had a big position, but he stepped up to CEO sometime in 2019. And if you know like the specific time or we got the year wrong, let us know in the comments. But on top of that, Days Gone has had a petition going around once the news broke out that Days Gone 2 was canceled. And that petition has reached 50K in signatures.
It's the most ever on that petition site, right?
Yeah, I believe
most signatures
so.
ever received.
Yeah, it's hit a record. Yeah. So it's pretty crazy that there's 50,000 people, and there's got to be a lot more that wanted to see, Days Gone 2. I don't know the math of it. Maybe one of y'all want to do the calculator, but if the bitch costs $60 or $70 if they want to do it, and you add in, the 50K people, that's quite a bit, money, right? So on top of that, PlayStation decided to renege on what they previously said with shutting down all the PlayStation stores for PlayStation 3, PlayStation Vita, whatever else, the PSP. So they have decided to reopen the PlayStation, or not reopen, but not close the PlayStation 3 store and the PS Vita store, which is good for, what we were talking about previously, that there was actually developers still doing games for the Vita. They'll still be able to do those games and put them on the store so that people can purchase them. But that, along with some news that we had heard, that PlayStation was kind of all about the Metacritic score, which makes sense why we heard the pushback from Cyberpunk 2077 and them saying that for Metacritic reasons, they wanted to make sure that their score was good. So they wanted to push it back another month. And we were like, that sounds like bullshit. Like, you know what I mean? Like something else must be going on or whatever.
Yeah.
We were kind of looking at it like
removed them from the store altogether.
They removed them completely from the store, which is the first time that a game has ever happened. Right? They've broken PlayStation history by getting removed from the damn game store.
What's crazy is I was looking at a chart recently for the sales, a pie chart of the sales for Cyberpunk.
Okay.
All PC.
Platform. No, it was like 50, over 50% PC.
It was 55%
yeah,
PC.
it was close to 60.
Yep.
But of course, that's one of the only places you can get it other than Xbox.
Right.
But PlayStation still had like 27% or something of the pie, and it was only open for like those few days.
Right.
So even in just those few days,
like a week or something,
it sold
right?
almost double Xbox to this date. Xbox is like 17 or 18%. It's
That's
like,
crazy,
dude. Even just that. Well, you see why C wants so desperately to get back onto the PlayStation platform,
right? Because there's a lot of people that
money,
have PlayStations and they want to play that.
Yeah.
But it was kind of leading me into this thought of like this kind of spiral of a downfall for PlayStation and why things have been the way they've been, right? Why did we have this which seems like an ill-prepared launch for a PlayStation 5 console? You know, I mean, we have all of these other little aspects like
COVID.
that one piece, COVID being a big one, that one piece that is like in short supply right now.
Right.
Yeah, the conductors and stuff like that, you know. But it seems like if you're a big company like this and you're preparing for something like this, that you would be fully
for the
prepared.
last couple of years you've been preparing, right?
Right, you've been fully prepared, but now everybody's taking a shit, and you know, and it's like, what's going on here? I mean, you know, Xbox has got some answering to do for this because they've been in the short also, so you know, it's kind of weird or whatever. But for all of this stuff to kind of come out, it almost seems like PlayStation started tanking a little bit in the public opinion once Jim Ryan went into CEO position. It almost seems like Sean Layden, you know, I mean, also, I think like before, Sean Layden was like super into the, wasn't he into like the PSVR and stuff like that? And he was into like the PS Vita. And then all of a sudden they're like, no more PS Vita games.
He loved those platforms.
Yeah.
He was incredible. Sean Layden was really cool. He understood the gamer. He was totally right. He said that the industry needs to be moving away from 40, 50, 60-hour games and producing more high-quality 12 to 15-hour games, which he's totally right. I would like that. If we had really high-quality games coming out periodically, rather than these big ones like Cyberpunk, right, or whatever, I'd rather have like little quicker, shorter games, but more often, because we're waiting so long for games in between. You know, and you have to remember, Sean Layden, he was the head of Sony during like that great PS4 generation. We're talking like, you know, Last of Us 2, God of War. We're talking, you know, Spider-Man launch, all these great games that are iconic from PlayStation 4 generation.
Yeah.
Dude, he was at the forefront of those great E3 showcases where Sony just like socked Microsoft in the face, where we were just like blown away. And then all of a sudden Sean Layden leaves. Sony no longer goes to E3 anymore. They don't care. It's just a whole really weird, different direction, you know, they're taking their company.
Yeah, and then it's like, okay, you coming out with new IPs such as Days Gone and whatnot, and you're not willing to take the criticism and the hardships that you got from the first one and then come out with a second one that's your IP and try to show and prove, like, hey, this game belongs in our repertoire.
I don't think that would have
like,
happened under
try
Sean
this
Layden.
out. Yeah, it seems like you gave up too quick on the title. You know what I mean? Regardless of it not making this meta score or whatever, Metacritic score, that's a good game. Like, I'm enjoying playing Days Gone. You know what I mean? So it just seems really weird. Like, all of a sudden now you guys care about this Metacritic score. Like, that's one website. I mean, yeah, a lot of people go to it, but it's such a small thing in there. I don't see why you would look at all the other factors that come in with these games.
I've been thinking about the Metacritic score, and this is just speculation, but you know how on some platforms they show you like the IMDb? I think on Amazon they show you the IMDb ranking.
Right.
I have a feeling maybe PlayStation's going to start implementing
the Metacritic score into their
and try to leverage that to buy this game. It's really good.
Yeah.
You know, it's full price, but hey, it got a 90 on Metacritic, so buy it. So I think
must-play badge, right? It has the must-play badge that Metacritic does.
They might have a must-play category in their shop, because why are they caring so much? I could understand, like, no, actually I can't understand. I don't know why they're caring what critics say so much, unless it's going to be something public-facing, like to everybody. Because some people don't even go on Metacritic. You know, some people may not be aware of it.
I think Metacritic really only plays a role if the game hyper tanks, right? Like, if people are really excited about a game and it just does average, like 7 to 8, I don't think that's not
a bad score.
I don't think Metacritic is ruining game sales.
No.
I think Metacritic can ruin a game sell if it's like Crackdown, right? Where you're waiting for this game and it comes out and it's a 40 something under 550, like a less. Then Metacritic really hurt you because a lot of people who might have bought Crackdown 3 because people were waiting for that game.
Right.
Metacritic trashed that game hard. But I don't think Metacritic trashed Outriders at all. Outriders is still like one of the top 5 selling games of like the last month selling, even though it's on Xbox Game Pass. It still sells like the number 1 selling game.
Okay.
And that only got like in the 70s. You know, it wasn't like this ultra high Metacritic score. It didn't matter if people are excited enough about it. The Metacritic score is only going to have so much of an impact.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
And your community is going to have a way more impact than that.
Yeah, I don't think Days Gone failed because of the Metacritic score. It failed because 1, the bugs, and 2, I don't think Sony had a very good marketing campaign for it. Do you remember PSX?
Yeah.
We went there and they had like these nice, awesome stands for like some of the big games coming out. Shadow of the Colossus.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man had a good
exhibit.
exhibit.
They had Days Gone in the corner and no gameplay, no videos. It was just like a little zombie place that people could take pictures at.
Right.
Oh,
yeah, like in a
yeah.
cemetery yard or something.
Remember,
of
we
that
walked
nature?
over like, wait, this is it?
This is
I
that.
remember that.
Yeah,
were
because
like,
I
this
thought
is
we
all-
were
this
gonna
is
get a
kinda
chance.
confusing.
Yeah.
I
We
think
were
you hit a
hyped.
button and then something happened, like interaction, or you waited and something happened, and
Yeah.
then you're like, okay, next.
Yeah, because we were hyped about seeing Days Gone on the list on the showcase.
Yeah, it's 'cause
of
one of the
what was
new
gonna be out there on the
IPs.
floor
Yeah.
because we thought we were gonna get a chance to play.
But you're right. It didn't really hype up the game. It was cool visually, but it didn't really tell you jack squat about
nothing about the game.
Yeah.
And I was like, what are they hiding this game for? For some reason, something internally, they felt some way about it. So it had nothing to do with the Metacritic score. Because that's long before the Metacritic score was ever even a factor. The game hadn't even launched yet. So just their marketing campaign seemed to shit on that game.
I got a question though. We didn't when we went to the last PSX, we didn't get a chance to play Horizon Zero Dawn, did we? Right, because they just had Aloy and one of
The
those
robot.
dinosaur robots
yeah.
out there.
That was before the game.
That was before
Or
it
that was
launched.
out. That was before launch. That was the first PSX though, right? That was like the very first one or the second one.
I think
That was the
the
San
second.
Francisco one.
No, that was the one we went. Excuse me. Because remember when we were waiting outside in line, right?
Right.
The robot.
Dino was
Yeah, I was
walking
walking around.
That was when I went with you guys.
That was
But
at
was that
Anaheim.
the
Elliot,
that
yeah.
wasn't the
But
first
that
one?
was
though,
also
was
at
it?
the
second.
previous one too,
Second, yeah.
at San Francisco.
Oh, okay.
Because that's when Daniel went with us. I still have that picture of you, me, and
Right,
Daniel
right, right,
standing
right.
next to that robot.
But I
We
think
brought
they were
that robot
still-
back.
I think they were
when
still
the game
showing
had
it
already
on the
launched.
third,
The game had
right?
already launched by then, huh?
Oh,
They
okay.
were, that wasn't that the third one that they were showing that still.
Yeah, but the game had already launched. I think when Mark saw the robot, the game had already launched by then.
Oh, okay.
So they were just promoting their characters.
Got you.
Right.
That they have.
But
I just
we
never
never got a
thought
chance
Days
to play that
Gone
one.
got the same treatment as some of the other games did. They just didn't.
One that I wish that I would see a second on is actually Order 1886
Oh yeah.
because I thought that one was a good game, and they had showcased it and whatnot, and it was a short game.
Yeah.
But I thought the story was cool, and I thought the weapons and stuff like that was cool. But
There was a
for
lot of
some reason, it
potential
just
there.
never went
Yeah.
anywhere after that.
It's
I don't know
unique potential game. I remember being hyped as heck for that game.
why. Yeah.
It didn't quite live up to the hype.
No,
I
it
will
didn't.
say that. So
Yeah.
that's what I think hurt it
Mm-hmm.
because the hype was so high for it that it didn't quite live up to the hype. But it wasn't that bad. I played it all the way through. I enjoyed it all the way through. It wasn't like a masterpiece, of course.
And
but
it
was
looked
fine.
phenomenal, dude.
And it
that
looked
game
cool.
looked
That
good.
was remember that's a PS4 launch title.
That is.
So it looked really good for
Not
PS4.
even PS4 Pro, but PS4. So
yeah, launch.
yeah, that
Yeah.
that sucker looked good, man.
It was cool.
I was like really like whoa,
You remember
this
when
is
we
dope.
saw that when they were first revealing the PlayStation 4? That was one of the launch titles, and just blown away by how that looked. I was like, man, this is a sweet leap in graphical fidelity.
Right.
Yeah, and it just vanished.
You know what? I'm kind of surprised to see that Order 1886 was not in the PlayStation collection
Oh yeah,
as like one of the games that they just gave away. I
because it
wonder
wasn't
why.
a Metacritic success.
Maybe.
So they're only taking their top tiers and
Yeah,
then giving them.
Dude, the Metacritic thing is
They should
affecting a
be
lot of
giving
people.
like they should have had like all of their games that they've offered up until a certain time frame just there available for you to play.
Yeah,
Because there's a lot of gems in there that people are just passing up.
Yeah, that's true.
Or never will get to experience because, you still have to pay for it or whatever.
right.
I mean, you could obviously go to GameStop and get Order 1886 for probably like $10 if you can find a used copy, but
Yeah.
I thought that it was a good
It's
game.
worth playing. It's like a 10-hour game.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. The Sean Layden. I like those kind of games where you like 10 to
Miles
15
Morales.
hours.
That's
Like Miles Morales. Yeah, like that sold more. Miles Morales has sold more than Last of Us 2 and Ghost of Tsushima. They just released the numbers.
Dang.
So to say like these shorter, not super short, like 5 hours, not like Astro Boy short, but like 10 to 15-hour games. That's a good route.
Yeah,
like.
Sure.
And it had a lot in it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was a lot in that Spider-Man game. So, there was plenty of stuff to do.
Like Sean Layden was, I think PlayStation there was like almost no negatives. While he was at the head for that era of PlayStation 4, there really was like no negatives for PlayStation, and now there are.
Yeah, even you would look at like the PlayStation Vita, and some people would be like, not even as interested, but Sean Layden was literally keeping that thing alive. Like, oh, we're still gonna produce games for this,
I still want
there's still gonna be people that will produce games for this.
Dude, I almost wanted to go buy a Vita when I heard they're gonna reopen the store. It's like, okay, maybe now I need to go rebuy my old Vita.
Yeah.
I had sold that a while ago, but there's some sweet indies on that system.
Yeah.
Really good indies on that.
Yeah, there
on that
was.
system, and they ran really well.
I remember the last one we went to, and there was literally like a shitload of PS Vitas out there on the floor, for all of the indies, and you were able to play stuff like Salt and Sanctuary.
Yes, you played
a couple of things like that,
and they ran really well.
Yeah.
And I was listening to Colin Moriarty. You guys, know who that is,
Right,
old IGN guy. He develops for the Vita. He has games he's developing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And he's developing for the Vita. And
Was
he
he
was
crushed
like,
when they
dude,
found out that
he
the store was
mad.
closed? Yeah.
He was really mad. And dude, I didn't realize this, but he's like, yeah, we were so pissed. He's like, dude, Sony just sold us a Vita dev kit in March, and then they closed it in April. Literally, they sold one to them.
Yeah.
When they knew in the 2 weeks we're closing it, we're gonna announce the closure of it. How weird is that? Like
That just seems like
Honestly,
that was like
internally,
a,
they
a
didn't know either.
decision upstairs, and they didn't let anything
that's
slow
a Jim
down.
Ryan thing, right?
Yeah.
Like he doesn't see it, I don't know what it was. I had to have been the outcry, of course, by the community. And of course, they probably saw a huge uptick in sales because of panic buying,
Yeah,
But
maybe.
So that kind of leads me to like this question that I had for you guys. Do you think that it should be business before pleasure, or do you think that it should matter more? Like the pleasure should be like the top thing. Like it seemed like as we talk about Sean Layden and whatnot, the things that he loved was video games. So he tended to make video games more of the priority. You know what I mean? Creating these new IPs, whether they excel or not. You know what I mean? He's still letting these new IPs get produced so that we have some unique stuff coming out. And keeping things alive like the PS Vita, even though it might not be extremely lucrative, you know what I mean, or that they might not produce a lot of stuff, but he allows other people to produce things for it. Whereas you have now that it seemed to switch with Metacritic, scores being like top priority, and you ain't getting a sequel unless this shit gets a 95 or something, to being like all about the money. Let's remake this shit that we just, remastered 2 years ago. Let's remake it and get more money off this same title that we've been floating for like 6 years. You know what I mean? It seems more like all they're going to do is just keep remaking the good shit over and over again to resell it to us. And you're going to have like 4 or 5 copies of the same game in your library when it's all said and done. Like, I mean, to me, I would think that your biggest thing would be your consumers, right? The people who will play that one-off IP or whatever and enjoy that, which means you can create more to do that. I mean, I feel like all of these games have made money. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Days Gone didn't make a lot. But do you think
it made money? We don't know the numbers specifically.
Right, but do you think it should be more business orientated and all about the profits, or do you think they should be putting more of the customers forward, more of the desires of the fans, and they would be able to make just as much money as they have been?
Well, I would say that it's cool because the studios, the developers of games, they always want to innovate. They always want the best games.
Right.
So you have that mentality. And then you have all the execs, all these shareholders and everything. They want money. So you're always going to have those two clashing. You know what I mean? You have the creative people versus the day-to-day business operation. We want money, money, money. So I think those two people are always going to be in the same room with games. Obviously, the game is the most important thing. You want high quality innovation. You don't want to be nickel and dime like the Avengers. You don't want all this crap, because all that is terrible.
Right.
You want competition too. I think is good too that they do care to a certain extent. Like, hey, we need to create bangers, because they're setting the bar from themselves really high. But that can't be the only thing that you look at. It has to be a balance. So I think maybe right now they're trying to fine tune that balance. But right now it's skewing more towards the business side, and it's nasty. They're getting backlash from the community, rightfully so. So hopefully internally they're fine tuning. Okay, let's scale back a little bit on the business and go more towards the games. But I think it's always like a teeter totter. You're always gonna have both, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's definitely a balance. Because you have people who want to create, but it's impossible to create without capital, right? And so you have to have the CEOs, the money. And so you're going to always have those people in the room, and you have to appeal to them because you need capital, right? And so that's always going to be a dynamic that exists. I do think though that, and it's hard to hand over trust of your money, right? It's hard to do that. Even think about it. Like investing into somebody and trusting them to produce is a scary, difficult thing to do. And so that's what you're asking a lot of these guys to do when they invest in a game. And so I get that. But at the same time, you need to have that feeling of freedom to create.
Yeah.
You don't get business unless it's pleasurable, I guess, with your wording. Mm-hmm. The game needs to be pleasurable for me to want to buy it, right? And so oftentimes the way you get creative is by having the freedom.
Fun with it.
Yeah, having fun with it and not feeling so pressured and not feeling like, damn, is this going to be an 80, 90 Metacritic score? Like that's going to rob your ability to create. And so that's what I think Sony had the best balance of. Mm-hmm. Which we keep bringing up Sean
They had
Layden.
A lot of creative
but
games.
They had a lot of creative games, and I always felt that every time someone went to Sony as a developer, they loved to work for Sony because they were able to make the games that they wanted to make, and they always were bangers. Like almost everything Sony released was like incredible.
Only the bangers.
Right? Yeah, like it was insane. Like everything was high scores. And it's like you ask yourself, well, how did we do that? It wasn't by just making remakes. It wasn't by just redoing everything over again, right? It makes me wonder what would have happened. We talked about Jake and Daxter.
Yeah.
What if Naughty Dog had went in that direction and not the Last of Us direction or not the Uncharted direction? What would have come of that studio had they not felt the freedom to create and make a new IP? And Sony was like, no, Jack and Daxter was a good game. You know what? Make that again for us.
Yeah, because they started off doing like Crash Bandicoot and Jack and Daxter and stuff like that.
It's like, what if they just kept making those? Hey, those worked. Those made money. No, Sony, they felt free. And look what they made, man. They made these incredible IPs that they're making movies off of and TV shows off of now that people adore and can't wait to buy the next one off the shelf. That all came from the freedom that Sony gave these developers. And I think everyone's always felt that way. Insomniac, all these producers that these studios that Sony owns have always felt that way. And now we're hearing all this now. All this all of a sudden now, right? Around Days Gone. I mean, even if there was a game that Sony had in the past that didn't quite do as well as like a Last of Us level game, still did pretty darn well and was given the green light to keep making games. Now all of a sudden we're hearing this weird message from Sony that it's, all about the profits and no longer. That's where it's like with Mark, when you're going all about that and no longer about the pleasure at all.
You're not even trying to do it like 60, 40, 50, 50 or something.
Yeah, it's not even like, it's just like a 90-10.
Yeah.
Where it's like, goodness, man, you're not going to have good games. You're going to destroy the PlayStation brand. That's why I said, I bet Housemarque is shitting bricks, man. I know why they pushed it back. They're dreading what's going to happen if they don't get a good Metacritic score.
Right, because we've seen
now we know
what happens when you get a shit Metacritic score. Your game gets pulled off the damn list. You can no longer make a sale on my platform because of your shit Metacritic score. We're taking it off. So now you got to make your bread and butter somewhere else and be able to afford all of the updates and changes to make your game a good game from all of those other places. And then you could try again coming back to us. And it's just like, damn, man, we've had so many games pushed back after Cyberpunk.
Mm-hmm.
And this has got to be one of those reasons why. This Metacritic score. At that point, I'm almost not trusting Metacritic anymore. Because if I'm any of those other places, I'm calling Metacritic up. Hey, man, so we got this game coming out, right? It's supposed to be coming out next week. What do I need to get you to get me a 95 on this Metacritic score?
Well,
you
we
know
don't
what
want
I
it to
mean?
be tarnished like that.
Yeah.
But
you
it seems
almost,
like that would be a call that would be made
you have to
to a
decide
Metacritic
yourself.
person.
You have to decide yourself, you know? Like, if it's a game you really wanted to play it. Even
Yeah.
if you...
Even
it
if
had a
you
low
hear
score,
bad stuff
yeah,
about
play
it,
it if you really wanted to play it.
And
like, you
it's-
gave Medium a try, even though it didn't get the greatest of scores. You fired it up still.
Yeah, but at
And
the
it
same time,
wasn't
I
good.
didn't look at the Metacritic scores.
Oh, okay.
And it
But
made
had
it.
you, would it stopped you from trying it? I think you still would have tried it.
Yeah, I would have checked it out
Yeah.
just to see. But what makes a big difference is whether or not it cost me. Like,
Well,
would
yeah,
I
of
have
course.
bought Medium to try
Yeah.
and see
If it
the
was a
Metacritic
10, you
score?
would have.
Nah, hell
Yeah,
no.
if it
I
was a
mean,
10,
if it
you
was
might have.
10,
Yeah,
then I
right.
might, think
Yeah.
about it. But it was just the simple fact that it was free,
Yeah.
so that I could check it out and do it. So, I mean, you're kind of putting a lot at risk, right, when you get all of these other reviews of stuff. But if you listen to the solid reviewers that are complaining about the game but reviewing it, they're saying that Cyberpunk is good. It's just got a lot of shit flaws in it. Once they fix the flaws, it's good. That's the same way that I feel. Like, it's a great game underneath all of those flaws. Underneath the acne and the bad teeth, all it needs is some bracers
There's a
and
dime
a little
there.
bit of
Yeah.
face wash. And that's a bad one right there. You know what I mean? So it's like, damn, like, how much are you going to put into these things? I try to, it's a little bit easier to take that frame of thought with like a movie. Like, oh, the movie gets shit ratings, but it's only like, $10 or whatever.
And it's only
I'm gonna go
2
and
hours
see
of
it.
my life.
And it's only 2
Right.
hours of my life, yeah. But when you $60, $70, for a game, and it's got shit ratings, hold on now. Might have to wait, because I can't just return this because the game sucks. I can't just return it. Once I've cracked the seal, that is mine. Now I got to get the GameStop price for it back if I want to try to get rid of it, So it's a little bit more at risk. So I understand, but it's like, damn, man.
Plus, I think too, it's like the trust of the studio. Like, for example, Blizzard. Now Blizzard Activision used to be one of my favorite studios of all time. All of the people who made Blizzard
Are leaving.
are gone. They started their own studios.
I think everyone's... Are there still a couple, or is everyone...
I'm
left?
sure there's
Yeah,
There's probably a
there's
few that was
but
originally there.
I would say the majority of everyone that made these magical games are gone. So when I see that they're making Diablo 2 remake, Warcraft 3 remake, they're making WoW classic servers. It's
They're
like
running out of the creatives.
that's their Metacritic, their bangers. They can't make new bangers.
It's the same situation with Sony, right?
Yeah.
They're doing the remake.
They're
plan
running
model.
out of their
They're remaking
creators because
everything.
they're running
Yeah.
them off.
That's why I'm like,
Mhm.
dude, Diablo 4 out. I don't think Diablo 4 is going to come out for a long time, and it's probably not going to be very good because I don't know who's left. They're just like, okay, let's just remake all the
I
bangers
know,
we
man.
have because we can't make new bangers. And if we do release anything, they're going to, with like a freaking microscope, analyze this compared to our old work. And we can't create that because we don't got those people. So I think,
Yeah, the guy that just made Overwatch left.
yeah,
The creative director behind Overwatch
Yep.
just left. And Overwatch is a banger, man. Like, I mean, it's not really my type of game, but
Yeah.
you could see how
Right. It does
incredibly
well.
polished and awesome that
Yeah.
game is.
Yeah.
You can just see it with your 2 eyes.
everybody's
Right?
gone.
Like, that's a huge loss. And he was like over 20 years. What? Dude, you're close to retiring now, man. Like, what happened?
Yeah.
That make you not just wait a few more years to retire? Like, what's going
you've
on
been-
behind
They're-
closed doors?
they're
man?
all
I mean,
gone,
if you've
man.
been with a company for 20 years
And you leave,
like, you're
something's
dedicated.
wrong,
Yeah,
dude.
so for you
Something's
to leave.
major wrong.
But that also, that you bring that up, that leads me to think, so like Blue Point, the Schmagigans group for a PlayStation or whatever, like these people have been hired to just remake shit, old shit. And they don't want to do that. They'll do it because they got to pay the bills, but they don't want to do that. Their complaint is that they want to make a new IP. They want to do something new. So the fact that PlayStation isn't allowing the Schmagigans group to make a new game, no, just redo this shit that that's did absurdly well when it first came out. Just remake that. You be cool. We pay you. You know what I mean? Like, These people they don't want to do that. So they breaking off. They leaving. Like, you know what I mean? I don't want to do that shit. Like, it's already been done. I want something new to put my name up under so people can say my name when, or they think of my name when they hear the title of the game, or they hear the company and they think of the people that
like,
that
you
work
should
for
be
that
allowed to do that once you've made a great game, even if it's a remake. Like the Demon Souls, Blue Point, they've earned the right. In my opinion, they've earned the right to make a game, dude. Make what you want and we'll buy it.
You know what works.
You know? Yeah,
so,
like I think
figure it out.
It's worth trusting them to make a game. And if it fails, then they don't give them their chance. But they should get that
back
chance.
to remakes. Yeah, you get out of the dungeon.
It's the same thing with the Schmigiggins group, right? They didn't even get a chance to prove their worth. Because that's what they were trying to do. They were trying to prove their worth by remaking Last of Us. Mm-hmm. See, look we can do it. Here's how good we are. And Sony yanked it from them and then dispersed them and threw it to Naughty Dog, which doesn't have time to make the Last of Us remake. Right. So they said they're working on it, but they said it's on the back burner. Like they're not.
Did they?
Yeah, they're not concerned with making that game right now. Okay. Which I get it. They got other games, And what's his name? The lead creative director of Naughty Dog. What's the guy's name?
I don't know.
He made Last of Us.
The new guy who came back?
No.
Oh, Neil Druckmann?
Yeah, Neil Druckmann. He came out and was saying they got some incredible things they can't wait to share with us. So, like, clearly they're working on some new things.
Other stuff,
I don't think they wanted this project thrown on their table.
Right, because didn't Sony take that from the Schmigiggins group?
Yes.
Like, oh, this looks great. Yoink.
Yes.
And then, hey, Naughty Dog, finish this up, man. You guys did great on the first one. Go ahead and finish this up. It's already been started for you guys. Don't worry about it. Just finish this up. Clean it up. So it's like, damn, like, all right, boss, I'll do this, but like I had other shit I was doing. So do you want me to finish this stuff first, or do you want me to get on this? Like, what's the priority sequence here?
We keep talking about developers, and Microsoft buying new developers. I worry that Sony loses like some of their great developers. When you hear like that lead designer leaving Naughty Dog to go work on Marvel, I feel like things like that turning into a trend. Kind of like what happened with Blizzard.
Except that guy realized that he went to a shit show. And so he left to come back.
That game was a mess, man. Yeah.
But I think at the end of the day, man, making games is hard. And now people know how lucrative games are. You have all these execs and you have all these pressures for loot boxes and things. So I would say making games is even harder now because now you have that pressure. All right, everyone else has loot boxes, but we don't want that. That's terrible. How are we going to add monetization? It makes it so more complicated, and there's just so much more business in games that when we were kids playing Super Mario, Pokemon, we didn't have to worry about DLCs or anything like that. That didn't exist. It was just they made the game, you had fun.
There was no updates or anything. It's like what you got was the final product.
It's like you want to update for a game back then, it was an expansion. You go to the store, you buy a separate box, and a couple of years later, and it has all this stuff. Now it's just like you're nickeled and dimed, and I would say every day, every year, it gets harder and harder to make games, and
absolutely,
it's turning into a monster.
I put a couple quotes up on the board from John Garvin, the lead creative director from Days Gone. I kind of was curious about what you guys thought.
Oh yeah,
about his recent comments. So, I think he kind of put his foot in his mouth a little bit. Because a lot of people were on his side. Like you mentioned the 50K.
The petitions and all that stuff,
at the start of this segment, how they're really seeing a lot of boost in player base and support for their game. And he came out and said, if you love a game, buy it at, he said, F word, full price.
Whoa.
And then, full price?
Yeah, buy it at effing full price. And don't complain don't complain about not getting a sequel if you didn't buy it at full price at launch.
At launch?
What?
At launch.
All right, so let's talk about each of these statements. I'll start with the first one. So he's saying, if you love a game, buy it at full price. Keep in mind, most games are new. How are you going to love something that you never tried, that just came out on launch day one?
Exactly.
It's like a booster pack at that point. It's just, hey, let's see what I get. So I would never just spend full price on something that I have no idea. I would wait.
Who would?
Yeah, who would?
Well, I mean, when you're getting like all of the trailers, and you're getting like, maybe like the first 5 minutes of gameplay, or you're getting gameplay footage or whatever, you kind of got like a general idea of whether you like the game or
Yeah.
if it's something you'll pass on, right? You kind of got like, I'll buy the game or whatever. But depending
rare,
on how
though,
that
bro.
is, yeah. But I mean, depending on how that is, like me and you, like, all three of us, like when we look at the trailers, we look at gameplay footage, we're looking at graphics, all of that stuff, some of the abilities or whatever that's going on in the game, the story or whatnot. If it looks interesting, that's something that we gonna cop. We didn't seen enough of Kenna to know we gonna buy Kenna day one when that shit comes out. So we haven't played a lick of the game, but we know what we want.
But I'm saying those are rare. Like, so for instance, Judgment just came out, which is like from the Yakuza line, but it's not a Yakuza, it's a new one.
Okay.
I'm not just gonna go out and buy that full price right now. Yeah, it's supposed to be a good game. It's getting decent reviews. I'm not gonna go buy that full price, right? Like that's unrealistic. Like the majority of the games that I've purchased at full price on launch are oftentimes sequels.
Hey,
You're
hey,
right.
I love the first one.
I think you're right. Like, yeah, exactly. Once you know you loved it, now I can't wait for the next one to come out.
Right.
Like Risk of Rain 2. I bought Risk of Rain really cheap on a Steam summer sale. I really liked it because I had seen videos of it, but I still wasn't going to pay full price for it. I got it on a sale.
Right.
And when the 2 launched out, I bought it day one. I bought Risk of Rain 2 on launch, like he's saying. But I didn't buy original Risk of Rain on launch. Yeah. So it's like, you have to produce a game, make it awesome. I didn't buy Mortal Phoenix Rising on launch. I waited till I got a sell on that. That's a brand new IP. Yeah. And I liked what I saw when I saw the trailers, right? But cool. Now that I really like Mortal Phoenix Rising, I might buy a Mortal Phoenix Rising 2 on launch day. I might pre-order it, right? Where I never would have before. You see, like, yes, you're right, Stone. Like, there are some games. Oftentimes, it's when, like, the developer's great.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, I bought The Last of Us day one, even though it was a new
anything
IP, but
Naughty
it's
Dog
Naughty
is really producing.
Yeah, exactly.
You already know what their pedigree is.
So there's more like nuance there to like. It's very rare when a brand new game, like I didn't buy Death Stranding. It's very rare when like a brand new game comes out that no one's seen or ever heard of. Like let's say Blue Point, and it looks incredible, it looks dope, and I buy it day one. I'm probably gonna wait and see, or I'm gonna try to maybe get it on a sale.
Absolutely. And I think it makes it even more harder when we have games like Genshin Impact coming out out of nowhere for free. Mm-hmm. You're trying these free-to-play games that are like high caliber.
Good point.
All these shooters now. So your game has to be incredible for me to buy it full price day one. Because there's games like, let's say, Pokemon. I'll always buy Pokemon games. Even if I don't even play them, I buy them all. Because I love Pokemon. It has a lot of, nostalgia there. That's rare.
They've already built that up in you.
Yes. Yeah, the name Pokemon.
Yeah, it's already been built.
It's going to sell, yeah.
That's so for me, for the statement, I love Pokemon. But for you to use that in the context of the backlash from your game, dude, you used it incorrectly. Completely, you missed the mark here, because this does not compare to your game at all.
Okay, so I had never heard of Bend Studios, right? So I was just looking at some of the games that they've developed because they've developed quite a few games, and they've been established since 1993. So they're an old company.
So this is who made Days Gone.
This is who made Days Gone. So they've done Bubsy 3D. I remember Bubsy. It's the little shit talking rabbit.
Oh, okay.
That was like
it's kind of
it was
like a
PlayStation,
kind of, but it's not.
It has short life.
Yeah,
really short life. They did a whole bunch of siphon filters.
Oh yes, that's right. Siphon filters were very good games.
Right. So they did a whole bunch of siphon filters, and then they did Resistance, Retribution. So that was for
a PS3,
but it was a portable one. The Retribution was
the Resistance Fall of Man, which was the PS3.
So the PSP,
Resistance 2. So that was like a PSP version.
It was a PSP game. Yeah. So and then they did Uncharted Golden Abyss,
right,
and Uncharted Fight for Fortune.
So Golden Abyss was another Vita.
Yes,
both of those were. So
they were more of a Vita developer then.
Well, no, they just only did those two. They did those 2 games Vita, and then they did that one game, the PlayStation
I mean, more
Portable.
Recently they were Vita. The more recent
from 2009 to 2012, they were doing portable joints, the handheld joints.
And then they switched in 2012. It sounds like to start developing Days Gone.
No, I guess after the release of Uncharted Fight for Fortune, they decided to set their sights on a console game.
Yeah.
So 2019 is when Days Gone came out. So it literally came out like, less than
It
2
took
years
them years
ago.
to develop that. Yeah.
Right. And then they have it for PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
So when you've been doing those other games and stuff like that, I mean, I know Siphon Filter's been out for a while, but
we liked Siphon Filter.
Dude, Siphon Filter was
those
dope.
were really cool. Why don't they make another one of those? Damn,
those,
that's
dude.
cool.
Dude, the Siphon Filter got a 90 on Metacritic.
Yes.
The first one.
Siphon Filter was sick. I didn't know they were that talented.
Dude, my cousin had that game for the
I'm
original
wondering if they
PlayStation.
lost some of their talent from that
directors or
day.
something.
Dude, but
Or
from
some
the
of
first
creative
game,
people?
the first game got a 90, and that was the highest score they ever got. Then it started going to 80, 73, 60s. So
Yeah.
Siphon Filters, that is.
Yes,
So
right.
the first one was the best, and then it started kind of.
What did Uncharted
Siphon
get?
Filter was sick.
The
Golden whatever.
The Golden
Abyss or
Abyss or,
something?
whatever.
Let me
Fortune.
check that game real quick. Uncharted Golden Abyss. It got
Probably average.
Where's the?
It was cool, but it was like
I think I played it.
It was kind of
Yeah, I think
gimmicky
we-
because
yeah,
they were
I
trying to
think we
utilize
both
every
played
aspect of
that,
the
yeah.
damn Vita. With the
Yeah.
back and having to touch the back and climb up the
Right.
vines and stuff like that.
Right.
But yeah, so I mean, Ben
Got an
Studios-
80.
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Solid
I mean,
game.
solid
Solid.
scores
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But I don't know. I think it goes to what you were talking about, some of the promotion stuff. Like I know I always saw a lot about Days Gone, you know what I mean? But I didn't really see like no intensive gameplay and things like that. I just saw more so like the swarms.
Mm-hmm.
They were always, if I recall correctly, they were always advertising how many freakers or
Number of
zombies that
zombies
they
on
could
screen,
get on the
right?
screen
Yeah.
at one time.
Mhm.
That was like their ode to fame.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Their claim to fame or whatever.
Mhm.
So, that's cool and all, but there's more aspects to a game than how much shit you got to kill on the screen. Or
They
how much
weren't
stuff you
showing
gotta
a lot
run
of
from.
gameplay. They weren't showing a lot of story. They weren't showing a whole lot more than like this cool feature
Right.
of these mass. Look at this. You've never seen this before. A whole wave of zombies,
Mm-hmm.
and they're all on screen without glitching and tearing. Right. And so like that was the thing that they were promoting. But there's a lot more to that game than that.
Right.
Like it sounds like a really unique experience amongst zombie games, and they weren't really demonstrating that or promoting that or letting us play that.
Right.
Yeah, I never saw really Days Gone topping on the Twitch charts because I sometimes it's a good indicator of hype at first. You see this game, oh, it's in the top 5 today. Let's check it out. Is there a big guy?
I
Is there a
agree.
big streamer playing it, or
Yeah.
is it just popular? I never really saw Days Gone up there that much. I hardly remember it. And like you're saying about zombie, I feel like it sucks too that this has zombies in it because, dude, like we're kind of burnt out of
It's a
zombie
saturated
stuff.
field.
Like,
yeah.
come on, like.
I think that
They
was
call them
probably,
something else, but yeah.
Yeah,
they're-
but games with zombies in it, we got too many of those at this point.
yeah.
They probably
But at the time when it released, there was a zombie craze going on. So when
Yes.
it released within that craze time.
my thinking is though like
Yeah, you're right.
when Sony already has like the greatest zombie game of all time, you don't need another zombie game.
What's the greatest zombie game of all
Last
time?
of
Last of
Us.
Us.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying in Sony's mind, whether you agree with me or not, they're thinking it's the greatest zombie game of all time. Why are we making another one? You're just setting yourself up for
Yeah.
disaster because you're never going to reach that bar.
Yeah.
Like I don't think any studio that they let make a zombie game would ever be as good as The Last of Us, and so in that sense, people are going to always compare it, and that's what's weird. Like you're kind of saying, like why they would have chosen to make a game in that
Yeah,
genre that's so saturated, especially with Sony having a masterpiece like The Last of Us
Yeah.
already in the zombie genre.
yeah. I was thinking, why don't they just make Siphon Filter again? But then
I
again,
know, that's what
but
I'm
then
thinking.
again, yeah, it's hard to make shooters these days because all these Prime ones that are free, there's a lot of good free ones. So I don't know how it's probably very difficult.
They
to
were
make a
great
shooter.
at stealth though, man. They were really good
Yeah.
at the stealth genre.
and there's not many stealthy games
That's-
these days.
yeah, that's-
so
yeah.
that'd be a good route. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I'm saying like that would be a route I've been itching to play. I like stealth
Yeah,
games.
I know you love
So
stealth
it's like
games.
I would love to that. I miss those. Those are huge on Xbox. Stone, remember that, dude? Like
Yeah.
all the Siphon filters.
Yeah.
You were like day ones on those. You bought, I think, most of them.
Siphon Filter?
Siphon filter.
No, I think you're thinking
about
of
Tom Clancy's?
Tom Clancy's Splinter
Oh,
Cell.
I'm thinking Splinter
That's
Cell.
what
So
I
I'm
was on.
mistaking the two. Yeah. Okay.
Splinter Cell
You're
was
right.
hardcore.
Splinter
stealth.
Cell was the one you were buying almost every day.
Yeah,
one.
those are dope
Yeah.
too.
Those are excellent.
Dude, the
those
double.
on
Yeah.
PC.
What was the double one? It was
Double
like,
Agent.
Double Agent.
Yes.
That shit was
That's cool.
killer. Yeah, that
Where's
was.
that? Where'd
Dude,
that ever
I
go?
need to see another Splinter Cell.
Where did
That's what
those go,
Microsoft
man?
needs to be doing.
Where
Dude,
did
those
those
Splinter
go,
Cells
man?
are sick,
So-
dude. Yeah.
The Tom Clancy's was good ass games, man. But yeah,
I just think that this Gavin guy screwed up.
Yeah.
He put everyone
And
against
then,
him.
well, his second part, well, don't complain if you didn't buy a game at full price at launch. It's like, dude, not all of us can afford games on, if there's millions of games coming out this year, I'm trying to try them all. I'm going to have to wait till they're on sales.
yeah.
or buy
There's
'em
gonna be some
secondhanded.
that are gonna take an L, man. Because
Yeah.
there was a lot of things coming out at the same time that Days Gone had dropped. And there was some
Yeah.
things that came out like right before it.
Especially when games are coming to all these, Game Pass, Epic Store, PS Plus free games, PS Now, all these things.
Totally.
It's like, dude, it has to be like a Pokemon game where I know this shit ain't gonna be for free. Otherwise, I might just wait a little bit, Like I got Cyberpunk for $17, pretty much brand new 4 months later. So, I'm gonna wait unless it's like a renowned game. Like I
What's
can't
he
live
talking
without-
about though, dude? Like we play all sort, like you're saying, Game Pass, all these games we have access to.
We don't mind.
And if I end up loving it, I can't complain that I didn't get a sequel because I played it through Game Pass and I didn't buy. Like that makes no sense.
Right.
Of course, I can complain if
Yeah.
I really like a game and they shit on making a sequel. I'm not allowed to complain. Why would I not be allowed to complain?
Yeah.
Because I didn't buy it on day one. We experience games in all different ways
Yeah.
that come into our life.
You borrow it
Obviously,
from a
there's
friend.
some,
Yeah,
like-
borrowed it from a friend.
There's obviously some like behind the scenes frustration.
He's just
or something
frustrated.
like
He's
that
venting.
that
He's just
saying,
frustrated.
but,
He's mad.
yeah.
Yeah, because he wanted to make his game and they said no, and he's just venting.
But yeah, so I mean, all of this stuff, I kind of feel like it all kind of goes together. It's kind of like an entanglement of a sorts, that they're kind of working together. Hopefully PlayStation is able to get out of this rut. There shouldn't be where there's so many things that you're going back on or people are just disagreeing with, you know what I mean? Like disagreeing with closing the store. Oh, okay, I'm gonna open it again then. Or, if they decide to cancel Days Gone 2 and then they decide, okay, all right, you guys like it, we're gonna just let them keep making it. You know what I mean? You shouldn't be backpedaling and having to like recant stuff. I mean, obviously Xbox did it just recently, with some of their shit, but it's gonna happen. But it's just like, damn, be a little bit more in tune, read the room, kind of understand that we as the gamers want some of these options. Keep it as an option. Give less money to the studios to make what they're gonna make. I mean, if it's hemorrhaging you or something like that,
Right.
you know what I mean? Okay, let you guys keep going, but we're gonna have to cut back on that budget. You guys aren't gonna be able to do this and that or whatever. Can you guys figure it out? Can you get it on the back end or
like,
what?
Based on your sales, we'll give you this much,
Right.
Because that's what we'll anticipate a repeat,
Right.
or we'll give you a little bit more to make a new IP. You choose. That way, it's not just saying no to you, right?
Yeah. I mean, that Ben Studios is working on something else,
Right.
So they are working on something else, a new IP or
Right.
whatever. But it's just that people were frustrated about Days Gone, and whatnot. So I have not beat Days Gone yet, so I do not know the ending for there to be a justification of a 2. I'm assuming that there would be. But we'll have to see or whatever. Hopefully, you guys will play it and then kind of give
I'm
your
gonna download
feedback on it or whatnot, later. But yeah, that's it. That's all we got for you guys this week. So once again, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you have not subscribed yet, please do, because we got a giveaway. So, you got to subscribe in order to win. So subscribe, drop down in a comment how you feel about this information that's been kind of stirring up and brewing. Do you think something's wrong with PlayStation behind the scenes? Do you think they're worried too much about money? Should they be worried more about the customers that they're supplying for that will eventually give them the money? How do you feel about that stuff? And then maybe also give us what type of game you've been playing recently, so there might be some more tips. I don't know. Did you ever play that game that Arachne Soul was recommending?
The Disco Asylum, not yet.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
that's on my list to
It's
buy.
on my list.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
on my list to buy.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you got any recommendations, drop them down there.
I just know.
But at least if you comment, you're entered in the giveaway, right?
Yep.
But
Please
yeah,
comment and subscribe.
right.
Get that money.
Get that money.
Get
So
that extra money.
yeah, so like I said, we'll catch you later. Deuces.
Peace.
See ya.
I love you, me.